Take it with a tasty group, okay? Wow. It definitely makes me cringe. Very, very, very painful. 1, 2, 3, kick it. Kick it. Come on. God damn it. Could you one time kick it? What the You're disgusting.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7
You ignorant trick bastard.
WMMS.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. This Twizzler out of my teeth. Greetings, good afternoon, all that. My name is Alan Cox. Thanks for showing up. Say hi to Bill Squire, who's over here.
Hey, what's going on? Creepy hugs, everybody. Creepy hugs.
Erica Lauren is on microphone 5, yes?
I'm here.
All right, there you
Hear
are.
me okay?
Yes. Erica's got her brand new chair.
That's right. Styling.
Lean back.
Yep.
That's right. I'll just hold my one arm up straight like this the whole show.
A
Like
few inches above the floor.
yeah. Low riding.
That's right. Pound Cake's back behind the glass. This is a freaky Friday, isn't it? I don't know why, but sure, why not? Friday nonetheless. So whether or not you're wearing pistachio pants,
Oh, dang it.
enjoy your Friday. Comedian Kevin Bozeman going to join us later on. He was in, some time ago, but he's a fun chap. He's at Hilarities all this weekend, so we'll catch up with him. Tribe game later on. Got things to give to you in between. I'm a little scattered today. I won't lie to you.
Oh, me too. I had a client meeting that whenever I have those, it throws off the rest of my day.
Sure.
Because it just gets me out of the rhythm of
Your momentum is
getting
thrown
in here.
off.
Yeah.
That's right. Did the meeting go well, at least?
Yeah, it went great. I think me and Christie's are going to have a long, happy relationship. I'm going to take over as their main dancer, and it's going to be
good for you.
Yes. No,
You
it has
get
some fun stuff planned, and it's going to be really cool.
Get the beautiful babies in on the daytime.
That's right.
They get little Bill Squire in there calling the shots. Good for you. You're going to be like Kyle MacLachlan in Showgirls. Next thing you know, you're going to be in a hot tub. Some young nubile thing going over her opportunities with the organization. If you'd like to join us, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Where could I get a hot tub for, like, cheap?
Oh, Northeast Factory Direct, if you wanted to. If you don't want to join us, those phone numbers don't change. They remain exactly the same. 35192 if you want to send me a text. AlanCoxShow.com for the aforementioned Christie's Instagram hotties are there. We always have clips from past shows, video clips for you. You can listen to the show at our iHeartRadio app. Look for the Alan Cox. Well, during the show, you just listen for WMMS, right? You can listen to the past shows on our channel. I got a lot of email about my dressing down of Pound Cake yesterday over the tweet storm that it wasn't a tweet storm, but he tweeted about a promotions assistant that I thought was quite untoward. But, a lot of people were like, please yell at Pound Cake more. That was my favorite part of the whole thing, And then other people said I was being a dick and blah, blah, blah. But I was giving this some thought last night, and it did occur to me that I was dressing him down for making a comment and assuming that somebody would take it in the spirit in which it was given. But it also did occur to me that using that very same logic, this brand new girl on the promotions team should probably not have been giving him a hard time about foot golf in the first place. You know, when there's a new person that comes in and they start jumping, you got to be in a spot for a little while to
feel
work
it out.
to work your way into like the joke bloodstream.
Sure.
There's nothing worse than when you're in an office and like a new person comes in and like, yeah, what about Jim, right? What a dick. You know, you're like, dude, you've been here for a week. Lay off, you know.
One of the first times I worked with one of my favorite comedians, Robert Kelly, it was the Cleveland Improv, and I would listen to him on radio shows and his podcast and talking about, you know, being at the Comedy Cellar. And he comes in, and I'm 2.5 years into comedy, and I start trying to bust his balls, and he's like, "What's your name?"
Oh,
he's
no.
He's like, I know what you're trying to do, and like I get that you're a fan, but like,
Right, because you thought
he
you were
got-
like
and,
trying
like,
to be his pal.
He was so nice about it too.
Sure.
He's like, buddy, you gotta calm down. You're coming at me with a lot right now.
That's right.
And
you're trying to throw heaters.
This isn't the
and-
cellar.
That's right.
We're just. I know you want to kind of feel out the situation and bust my balls and
Right.
goof around, but I'm just here to work.
He doesn't want to take
Yeah.
it from local comic in Cleveland.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
I
So
think
anyway.
the new promotions girl was also influenced by Jasmine because she was riding around with Jasmine in the cart, and Jasmine was razzing Pound Cake for his horrible playing as well. So I think it was like
Right, but that doesn't mean. But even if you're a new person, you don't just jump in.
That's true.
You sit there.
That's
you go,
true.
I'm not. You know, again, everybody's young and they don't know, and you know. But I was thinking about that last night. As you know, again, Pound Cake is my primary concern because he represents this program.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody back there, I don't care what they do. You know, but using my logic, I thought about. I was like, well, she's a little new to be giving him a hard time, right?
Is that what you felt, Pound Cake?
I have nothing to say. I mean,
What? For
yeah,
once?
Yep. I said my piece yesterday. I'm good.
Okay.
3:07, perfect time to clam up.
Yeah. I mean, you could say something, given that this is a radio program.
Yeah.
Right. He figures his eyebrows will get him through.
Well, my personality is naturally joking, so I laugh. I like to have fun, so I didn't mind that she was doing that. But
Okay.
when I was joking with her back, with her, I didn't mean to hurt her feelings, or her feelings
Well, you
weren't
didn't,
hurt.
yeah.
Her feelings weren't hurt, but I was just more so like concerned with that you didn't give me the benefit of the doubt. Have I ever been mean to anyone?
Well, but she clearly took it a certain way. I think everybody's acting like she was fine with it because I'm sure but she was tweeting a lot to the kind of, then there was a tone to it. It was like, see,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So again, it is a mountain out of a molehill.
But I was just mainly just concerned with you because when you
No,
look
but
at-
what did I tell you yesterday? I let 90% of what you do go. That is the benefit of the doubt. But it's, you know, nobody's ever going to accuse me of not giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, because
It takes a while for me to say something about anything that anybody will do.
Right.
Because I give people the benefit of the doubt.
So the stuff that you let go, is it stuff pertaining to me being on air, or is it just tweets, or
Both.
You tweet stuff out that is like insane on
Right.
like a regular basis.
But I but I have a show to do and I have a life to lead. I cannot spend every waking moment teaching you how to do this. I
Fair.
can't. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
That's fair.
And I mean, nobody ever taught me. So, you know, and a lot of
Yeah, we know.
Thank you. It's readily apparent. No, but it's like in a lot of things you got to figure out yourself. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to hover. But that I was kind of like, you know. And listen, it may have just gotten me at the wrong time. Any other time that might have been part of the 90%. You know? I don't know. It just struck me as odd. But 9 times out of 10, 9 times, I will give you the benefit. I'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
And my problem is thinking I can joke with everyone. I assume everybody, it's an egotistical thing where I think everyone knows my personality. I immediately see someone, I'm like, oh no, I'm a hugger. Oh hey, you
Listen,
look cute. Hey girl.
you
And
said it yourself yesterday. If you had put some goofy emoji, that probably would have made everything okay.
Probably. And I didn't. And so
I'm like, that's the one time you don't use an emoji?
I know.
You communicate almost solely by emojis, and that time it's just text?
Yeah, and I can see
I
how it
can't
could be
remember the last time he sent
misconstrued.
me real words.
Exactly. You're like trying to decipher it like it's hieroglyphics.
Yeah, pretty
You're
much.
like, eggplant, crossbones, what? Milkshake?
Your penis
I know-
died,
I
and then
know.
you drank a milkshake to console yourself.
Whiskey, tango, foxtrot. Yeah.
Well, I would just hate to piss somebody off or get reported to HR or something because I didn't.
We don't even have HR here anymore.
Yeah, we just have to tag them on a tweet.
Yeah, we have to send a trouble ticket to HR. Okay, good. Let me break here. Lisa Lampanelli is going to be in town 1 week from tomorrow night, and so I'll hand you a couple of pair of tickets, last pair this week, for that show at Playhouse Square. If you want to text 35192 or get to any of us at AlanCockShow.com.
Hey, this is Mike
By the way,
Shinoda.
what's going on with you in this new promo, girl?
What are you talking about?
Your tweet.
What tweet?
Yeah,
Your
You
tweet.
were kind of rude to her.
Why are you being a dick to this new girl?
I wasn't being a dick to her. I gave her a compliment.
I thought it was kind of rude what you said.
It was.
What did he say?
You know that we met this girl.
Yeah.
She was out at
Taylor.
Foot Golf.
Yeah.
Taylor.
She's brand new, excited to be
Brand
here.
new, right?
Yeah.
So she tweets, and I only saw this because of Pound Cake's response. Tonight after our event, a group of teenage boys approached me and stood in line to take a photo with me and asked for my autograph. Working for iHeartRadio is wild. Okay. And Pound Cake goes, it's because you're hot, not because you're famous. What does that mean?
I don't understand how that's rude.
It's because you're hot, not because you're famous. First of all, she didn't imply that she was famous. She said working for iHeartRadio is wild.
Okay.
She was
Like,
having
what
an
a weird experience.
What a weird experience.
Yeah.
Okay. And I told her, I was like, it's probably because you're hot.
No, you said it's because you're hot,
She's
not
hot.
not because you're famous.
But
What does that mean? She didn't say I'm famous.
I didn't know. She said after an event, people were lining up to take pictures with her. I assume that's because someone.
You could have said
They thought she was someone of.
why you needed to respond. I don't know, but if
I happened to see it.
since you did, I see a million things a day I don't respond to.
I follow her, and we were talking.
You could
and
have said it's.
I know what he meant.
I
but
don't know
it
what he meant.
What he meant was he was trying to pay her a compliment, like you're a hot chick, they're gonna want to take photos with you.
Right.
But it came out weird because he said not because you're famous, like she was implying.
The
that she
response
was
should have been,
famous.
"It's because you're hot." Period.
Yeah, it's because you're hot.
Now, a girl inherently will know her level of attractiveness. Deep in her heart, she knows, okay? So if this girl's hot, she knows that, right? That's not what she was talking about.
No, she was just saying like.
And she's brand new, Pound Cake.
I don't understand why that's a big deal.
You don't, that's my point. That's why I'm calling you out on it.
Okay,
You don't
so I
understand.
don't
It came off
understand.
kind
To
of
go,
mean.
because it was a dick comment. Because she wasn't implying that she was, where did the you're not famous thing come from?
I thought she was saying because she did some event and some guys were lining up thinking that she was like the artist or something like that.
There was nothing in her tweet implied that. She said working for iHeartRadio is wild because she's on the promo team, right?
Okay, but
she's
I didn't know what event she was referring to.
You were projecting something onto her. I don't know what. Why would you say not because you're famous?
I didn't know what event she was referring to. I didn't
Then
know
why, if you were so unclear as to the meaning of her tweet, why even respond?
Because I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I was talking to her. She was talking to me on Twitter. She was laughing about how I was kicking the ball funny. I
And
figured we were on that.
That's what it is.
that's
He wanted to rib her back.
I wasn't ribbing her anything. I gave her a compliment.
This was first of all, that's not a compliment. You
That
read
is a
that
compliment.
It's because you're hot, not because you're famous. That's a compliment to you.
If I would have put an LOL or a laughing crying emoji, would that be a compliment then?
It would have been
he
more
would've just said,
lighthearted.
if you were hot.
Okay,
If
well,
you're-
then I
because
forgot
you
the
were
It's because
LOL.
you're hot. That is not a compliment. Do you know what a compliment is?
Yes, I know what a compliment is.
You don't, because that's not a compliment.
Well, then it came off wrong.
It sounds like something you would say to me because you know me well and you know I would laugh at it.
I figured she would laugh too.
She's but you don't know her. But now I forgot. She's the one who was giving him a hard time at
Yeah,
foot golf.
she is.
So
but
he's
she-
trying to stick it to her.
I'm not trying to stick to anybody. She was making fun of me. I figured we were on that
Not
level.
to her.
What level?
Wait,
You
wait,
don't
wait,
even
wait.
know this girl.
Wait, so were you ribbing her back, or were you complimenting her? Because you kind of
I
just
guess I
flip-flop
should have
right
put
there.
the LOL. I didn't think it was that serious.
How about you just put, it's because you're hot.
Okay,
Period.
well, then that's what I should have said.
Not
but that's-
because you're famous
but I
is
don't-
what he put.
I don't understand why that's a different
Because
move.
she didn't say anything that implied that she thought it was the result of fame. Your response
I'm
should be
thinking-
commensurate with the comment.
Once again, I thought that because she was wearing an iHeartRadio T-shirt, and if there was like an artist there or something like that, they thought she was a part of like the entourage or whatever. I didn't know the exact context of what the event was.
If
All
it's
I
an
said-
iHeartRadio event, why would anybody think that she was the artist?
why would anybody lined up to take pictures with her?
Because, like you said, you're hot.
And like she said, this is wild.
Right. This is crazy.
Yeah, why would she's questioning it. She's going, it's weird working for iHeart. Somebody asked for a picture with me.
And
It
she's,
wasn't
having,
mine.
and she's having fun.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not
I
saying.
just don't know why you had to make some dick comment like that.
Well, it came off
And mind you,
dickish.
I don't have any dog in this fight other than the fact that you do rep this show.
It came off dickish, but that's not what it was intended to be.
Well, then don't leave a comment next time.
I
if you don't
almost
know,
retweeted his retweet.
If you don't know, if you don't know
I did
something
retweet
as
it.
if you don't know something as simple as what a compliment is and isn't, don't make a comment.
Okay.
These are people we work with. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but it didn't.
If you
come
want
off
to
as-
kick my balls or Erica's or Bill's, this is a brand new girl that I just met 3 days ago.
And she doesn't know if you're joking.
But
You know what I
we
mean?
I figure everyone in this building has a sense of humor.
But
and she
why
was
do you
all-
assume A, that she has a sense of humor?
Because she was riding
B,
around with us and we
that
were all
she-
having fun together.
She was working the event.
That doesn't mean she can't have fun.
Why do you? Okay, first of all, she might have been having fun, but that's not why she was there. First of all, you don't know this girl at all. So you assume that she's just gonna, by osmosis, know Cody Brown's amazing sense of humor? Oh, she knows I was kidding. It's because you're hot, not because you're famous.
Yeah, I don't know. It came out wrong. I know that you didn't mean anything.
You're
by
sticking
but
it to
came
her
out
because
wrong.
she made fun of you at foot golf.
That's not why.
Then why?
I don't
because
think
I already
why.
told you why.
Because you think that's a compliment. I don't believe that.
I just think he says
You
things.
know what a compliment is.
You just say things and you don't think about how that is going to read to somebody that you don't know that well.
Well, then
You
that's-
just say something that's on your mind without really thinking about it.
Okay, well, I should have put an LOL. I should have put LOL or a crying, laughing emoji.
No,
'Cause that's
or
not what it was.
it's because you're hot, period.
Okay.
It doesn't require an emoji.
Okay, then it was a bad judgment on my part.
To me, it just came across as like putting her in her place. Like, you lowly promotions person.
That's
You're not
what
famous.
I'm
I worked
saying.
in promotions.
I know that. I'm
Right,
just
and
saying,
you don't anymore.
I'm just saying
so-
how it read. I'm not saying that you're saying that about her. I'm just saying that is how it read to me. Like, you were like, you're not famous, you lowly promotions
Well, then-
lady.
That's where I'm coming from.
And
If
she
that's
did.
not what you meant, then that's good.
I did like her reply to it.
Yeah, I
She
laughed.
posted Ariana Grande gift
She was like,
going
"I'll
like,
take
"I'll
it."
take it."
Right,
Yeah.
but she had to do that so
Right.
that you didn't think she took it the wrong way. She had to be nice and go, ha ha.
Yeah.
But I guarantee she read that and was like, what?
She probably was like, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Damn. You know, that's how I would have read it. If you would have said something like that to me and I was in her position, I would be like, well, I wasn't saying I was famous, but okay.
Pound Cake thinks everybody knows where he's coming from at all times. Why do you think everybody knows what you mean? I don't understand that.
No, I don't know.
You don't think that's odd? You don't think it's weird?
I didn't think it was weird, but apparently it's weird. I didn't know that.
Not necessarily weird. Like, you got to read the room. You got to know who you're talking to when you say certain things. If you would have said that to me, of course I'm going to just razz you back and whatever. But, like, she is new here. She doesn't know anyone, and it just came off weird.
First, I didn't know that she was new. I knew I hadn't seen her that often, but I rarely see anybody in promotions that often anyways. So just because I haven't done any events with her.
But you know you're following her on Twitter.
But no
Like,
matter how long someone
I know
has
that-
been here, what I'm saying is if you haven't had any interactions with them in person, maybe it's not a good idea to assume they know where your
I
sense
know,
of humor
and that-
lies.
Her being here for a short amount of time, that's besides the point. I understand that. But what I was saying was we were laughing, we were kikiing, we were cracking jokes at each other. I was
King.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sign in the DM.
What's up, guys?
I am back on a health kick, trying to be healthier because I put on a bunch of weight, and it was
It's not a bunch. You're
it's
still a sliver of what you used to be.
right, but it's more than I'm comfortable with. I don't like the way I look right now, so I got to get back on it. So
You
I'm
don't have
eating
the
right.
fat chin.
I don't have the fat chin.
No
my,
double chin.
my face has always stayed pretty, like it goes out, it doesn't go whole. So I've always been thankful for that because like it goes, like I just get chubbier cheeks. But yeah, being in the relationship and then going through the depressing phase of the relationship, I was eating my feelings, but I'm out of it and I'm feeling better. And now I'm exercising and eating right, and hopefully we'll drop some pounds before the comedy tour, which the pre-sale started today, but you might not be watching this on a day when the pre-sale started. So basically, tickets are available now. If you're watching it today, May 3rd, you can get tickets using pre-sale code WMMS.
Ooh, he's got it down pat.
Yeah.
People ask me things like people ask me the code to the CLE clothing. I don't know. People ask me when they can buy the
Grill.
tickets.
It's
I don't
grill.
know.
Grill.
Like
because you don't listen to anything that doesn't have
I
to do
do.
with you.
No, I do listen, but I can't retain it. Like, I listen in the moment, but I couldn't repeat it back.
Well, you gotta pay. You
I have
gotta
so many
lock it in the vault.
I
Lock it
have
in
so
the
many
vault.
things pacing through.
Get it in the vault. But yeah, see, the thing is, I tried to get to the gym earlier today, but I got my hair cut, so it's nice and trim on the side. The top is still the same
Very
hair,
curly.
still curly. It's just wet because I just got out of the shower. But then Alan talks about how he's not a sweater. I wish I wasn't a sweater. I get going, and then my body just sweats.
It's weird
for 40 minutes.
Because some people
and there's nothing I can do about it.
Some people don't.
I know that you came to party, baby. Relax, we're gonna leave this party with somebody else's lady. I know that you came to party, baby.
Oh, you want to text in here, 35192. Get us at AlanCoxShow.com for everything else. If you're listening to the show, the website or on iHeartRadio, let me know where you are if you do it out of state. Joey listens to the show in Dundee, Michigan. Jim is in Kapa'a, Hawaii. Scott is up in Alpena, Michigan, and people all over from there. But each one of them with a little pin on our map. Welcome. Tribe game tonight. They'll start the weekend series against the Twins. That's a 7:10 pitch. So we will make our exit in time for that pregame coverage around 6:30. And then come the beginning of the week, White Sox back against the Tribe, although it will be here at Progressive Field. Amazon has said that they got the streaming rights for the Rock Hall inductions from now on.
Nice.
HBO chops it way down. That induction ceremony is about 4.5 hours. And HBO cuts it down to about an hour and a half.
Just takes 2 days before it gets there.
You can have it prime shipped to your house, I think.
That's what I'm saying.
Drop it right on the doorstep. No, Bill, the streaming.
Oh, the streaming.
Yes, you can demand it, and it will show up on demand. You demand it, and it'll be right there.
That's smart.
Starting July 1st of this year, and then in perpetuity, they will stream the Rock Hall inductions to over 30 countries and in 8 languages. So, up till now, there you were, a Bon Jovi fan who only spoke Farsi and really left out of the mix. Well, now you're in luck. Be able to watch it on any one of your Amazon devices. Big year for the Rock Hall inductions this year. They're also streaming soccer and all kinds of crap. They picked up the new Jordan Peele series. And Jordan Peele's also doing a documentary on Lorena Bobbitt.
And he's got a movie coming out next year, too, right?
He's got a bunch of stuff, yeah.
What's his connection to the Bobbitt case?
I don't know that he has one, but she's certainly an interesting figure in American pop culture.
Yeah. She became a verb. To bob at someone.
To bob at someone, yeah, like a Lewinsky. His series about Nazi hunters in the 70s in New York is called The Hunt. And that's going to be on Amazon very soon. But he's also doing a documentary on Lorena Bobbitt. Don't know what that's called.
What's Key up to besides just every commercial? Because that seems to be his thing.
He's making movies.
Is he making some movies?
He's in that Predator reboot.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Good for him.
The Predator. Mm-hmm. Now, I assume, as he is black, that he dies early. But, you know it, Pound Cake. You know.
No, because it's racist if they do that in movies now. So now they're waiting till he's got
to die second or third.
No, the third. He's like third from the last.
Okay.
Well, I haven't seen the movie, but...
No, I'm just assuming.
Yeah, maybe.
But I watched, the new installments of, series movies. I'm like, yeah, they let him survive, for the last 20 minutes of the movie.
But what about Get Out?
Well, that's different. That was centered around racism, and they knew it was racism. But
right.
It was also a compliment to black people.
It was reverse racism. But all the white people died.
But it was a compliment to all the racism because they were like, oh, wow, we don't have, the skills to play basketball or the long dong, so we're going to, possess these black people, take their soul, and embody their, traits.
That's what you took from that movie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was a
all
compliment.
right. We don't have the ability to play basketball or the long dong, so we're going to
I didn't get that from the movie.
do all these other things. Don't tell Larry Bird.
Well, why else did they need the black people? They took their soul, and then they were
because they were old, and they just needed a young vessel.
And
they were
young.
racist. They used black people.
No.
Is that what that was? I saw that movie one time and enjoyed it, but I thought it was crazy overrated.
Oh man, I love it.
It was okay, but I was amazed it got all the hype that it did.
I don't think I loved it.
But was that the point? I know it took a shift there when they put him in and they're going to drill his head or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? They were taking their essence?
Yes.
Black
Yeah.
people?
They were
that's
taking
why
their
they,
body.
Yeah, that's why they were in the sunken places, because they're still there, but they're
Not conscious.
they're
they've
not
been pushed
conscious
aside,
of it.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
why
right.
like there'd be
Right.
like a thing that would trigger him, and then one guy's like, "You got to get out of here." That's the whole movie.
Like his dad was
Get
in
out.
another
Yeah.
black guy or whatever.
Yeah, his grandparents, like they're just
Okay.
like switching brains around basically.
So I
Right.
wasn't too upset about it. I was like, yeah, you know what? I mean, if I was white and I had a little pink one, I probably want a long dong too. So,
A little pink one.
Yeah. So I
For all the white guys you've banged, Pound Cake, where do you come up with a little pink one?
I just assume the ones that
Are you having
try-
sex with dogs?
No.
Red Rockets.
Red Rockets?
But these weren't people. These weren't like healthy people. These were people that were dying,
Aged.
switching into a younger body.
Young and strong.
Yeah.
But it
Well, sure.
wasn't about the
I mean,
penis.
that's a tale as old as art itself.
They're not gonna
you know,
mention-
drinking the blood of virgins.
Because there's also Grandma who was going from a woman's old lady's body into a younger lady's body.
Now,
Like
she
this,
had a
yeah.
little pink dong.
Yeah, there you go.
Grandma was not hung at all in that movie. And that in itself is a racist. I was talking to a buddy of mine that works at Apple in Cupertino. And
I know that place from my weather.
yeah, right.
like-
Shows it. Here's where it is at Apple Park or whatever. And he pointed me to a story that was kind of making the rounds that at that new Apple headquarters out there, you know, where they all work, everybody's getting standing desks now because Tim Cook says that sitting is the new cancer. How you feel about that, cancer patients? You're as sick as someone who sits all day, according to Tim Cook. Sitting is the new cancer. And so they're getting standing desks. That's got to make you feel good. I'll tell you what, those sitting chemo treatments, those are not cheap. No wonder this guy's upset. Sitting is the new cancer.
Erica, you could probably sue this dude. Because with your condition, you have to sit.
Yeah,
and
if I
that's
work
like
for him.
that's like inflammatory.
It's inflammatory. It's defamatory.
He'll probably
It's
even-
outrageous.
He might even have healthy people fainting if their legs get locked for too long.
I'm
you know?
torn with those standing desks because at my morning job, we have those. And
But you have the sitting option, though.
we have the sitting option, but like I try because I'm like I sit on my ass at both of my jobs. Like
Right.
I don't want to sit all day. Like I'm just gonna be a fat slob, even more so than I already am. So I try. I really do try. I get up in the morning, I grab my coffee, and I'm just like standing. And then I start to lean, and then that lean turns to I'll just sit for a little bit. Then I'm sitting for like 2 hours. So it doesn't even really work. Like as soon as I raise my desk up,
Well, that's why people get up in the middle of the day out here and walk. All these desk jockeys, they're walking all day. You know, every so often
do
I'll
that
do a
break.
lap up around the building.
do a
and-
lap.
I do a lap
Sure.
around the building as well at both jobs.
I like the idea of a jumping desk where anytime you want to type anything, you got to jump up and type real quick, and then you jump up and type a couple of letters, and you'll stay in
Work
great
for it.
shape.
The
yeah.
keyboard is just
Yeah.
too far away for your
Right.
reach.
It's the Ninja Warrior desk.
I gotcha.
Where it's, you're always like, or you have to like hang from something with one hand while you type with the other. It just keeps you in
Well, they had this
really good shape.
They're trying to sell this stationary bike that's got a desk on it or something. So
Oh,
you,
I've
like,
seen that, yeah.
pedal or whatever.
Huh.
But the reviews on it are like that doesn't do anything. I mean, you're still sitting. You know, if you're
Stationary
sitting,
bike helps, though. I mean, it
Yeah.
helps with blood flow.
Yeah, but like, just go home and do it. Why would you want to type on your laptop while you're in a stationary bike?
I
that
just-
should be kind of. I think that exercise should be something that.
It's separate from work.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of because it's kind of work in and of itself.
People
but,
are workaholics though, so they think that's like why companies have gyms in them.
no, I understand. I mean,
because-
people want to multitask. I'm
people
just
live
saying
there.
that it's a good way to kind of, clear your head from other things, and
Yeah, I
it's
think
good for creativity when you step away from something and do something else, then go back to it.
That's true.
Alan, I think Steve Jobs would have preferred sitting to the old cancer.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh.
For a guy whose successor died from cancer, you'd think that Tim Cook might have parsed his words a little
I
differently.
think he means the being too comfortable is like the new cancer because I do see
Everything's the new cancer. The old cancer is still around.
Yeah, we should also figure out the old cancer before we get onto the new cancer.
Let's figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? We're never going to figure it out. It keeps changing. You know, it's like they say, Bill, that vaping is the new lung cancer. Do they say that? Oh, boy.
Well, it's that wet lung or whatever.
Yeah, you got the popcorn lung.
Yeah, popcorn
Yeah.
lung.
Popcorn
Ugh.
lung.
Nice buttery lungs.
Yummy. Some yellow grease on there.
Have you heard those ads for the Juul where they're trying to have a discussion with their kid about vaping? And the parents come in, they're like, we want to talk to you about vaping. And he's like, Mom, but I don't. And they're like, we want to make sure you have all the facts. And it is so corny.
Where is this? This is on television?
I hear it on iHeart when I'm driving around listening to different sports shows and stuff.
What's the facts that they give them?
That you shouldn't start vaping if you don't already smoke. Basically that. And it's not for children. No children should be vaping is basically the whole message there because they got to cover their ass because it's a nicotine product.
Of course.
So that's basically the whole
Even
thing.
though it's flavored like blueberry muffins, it's not for you, kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back to the old Joe Camel argument.
Right. And then there's another one that they play, and it's about dudes being creepy and hitting girls up for nude pictures and stuff like that. And there's exclusively on sports stations that I hear these where they have to tell dudes to chill the F out because if a girl's not sending you nudes, you can't just call her a whore and shame her into doing it. That's harassment. And that's like an ad that you hear all the time if you're listening to the Dan Patrick Show or something. Mm-hmm. It's weird.
Yeah.
But
I learned it from watching you, hipster dad.
What?
Nothing. Alan, spoiler alert. I have not seen that movie. Listen, the goddamn thing's been out for... Get Out's been out for 5 years, all right?
People have talked about it at nauseam.
God. You're on my schedule. I'm not on yours. Spoiler alert. Unless you're goofing with me, and in which case... That's hilarious! Oh, I totally get it.
Yeah, if you weren't going to...
Totally get it. That's still going?
That goes for a long time.
I know, I like that a lot. Yeah. Boy, the story about this ex-girlfriend who screwed this guy over on his musical career is a wild story.
Brutal.
I kind of ignored it at first, but then it really blew up. This guy, a Canadian guy, I think, is that where McGill University is?
I think so.
The Montreal Gazette. So yeah, Alan, Canada. This guy who is a clarinetist, who I think has gone on to some kind of career. Eric Abramovitz is his name. He was one of the top clarinetists in Canada. He studied with some of the elite teachers in the country from 7 years of age. And if you know anything about Canada, you know how they revere their clarinetists. If you go to Canada and tell somebody that you play the bassoon, oh boy,
get out of there.
They will put a foot up your ass so quickly, you won't even see it coming.
They'll send you to America.
Right, mostly because they're behind you, and so you wouldn't see it coming. But if you're a clarinetist. So this guy... I'm going to try to simplify this as much as I can. This guy was trying to get a course of study under a very highly regarded clarinet teacher. And the guy accepts 2 students a year out of a whole bunch of applicants. And so obviously if this guy picks you to study with him, it's like the hand of God coming down on you. This guy sent a letter telling the student that he had been chosen. One of the 2 people to get picked. Except the kid never got the email because his girlfriend at the time, who was a fellow music student, hacked into his email to delete the email and create a different one telling him that he had been rejected from the program.
Terrible.
So,
just terrible.
So that
he wouldn't
leave,
yeah.
I guess. I mean, there's a picture of the guy. There's a picture of the old girlfriend who did this, and there's a picture of him with the new girlfriend. A, he's traded up.
Upgrade.
Right. B, the courts have awarded him $350,000.
Well, yeah, because there was scholarship money attached.
Scholarship money attached, so she stalled his career. Does that mean that she is supposed to pay him that money?
Yeah, who pays that money? That's what I was curious about.
Probably her.
He sued her in damages, and they gave her $300. She sued for $300, and the court gave him $50 extra for such despicable behavior. But
it's so messed up.
I look at it this way, man. Props to this guy for inspiring that kind of devotion in a young lady. Let's not bury the lead here.
Must have been good.
Right.
Has anyone...
those clarinet lips, they're very...
They're nimble.
Yeah. They ain't no baloney lip.
No. You think I could play a clarinet with this baloney lip? No. Why do you think I'm a drummer? I ain't no woodwind and brass wind kind of guy. But I'm telling you, this is a loaded question, Has any woman ever tried to derail something, Bill? Because has she ever gone to those lengths to the email to foist some kind of falsehood on you so that you'd stay with her? Has that ever happened? Anyone ever gone to those lengths?
Perhaps. I mean, I've definitely been in situations.
I never have.
I haven't been in that situation, but I've had some definite ex-girlfriends that have been keeping tabs on me and anything I'm doing.
I mean, you've had some kooky exes.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
that. Right. But I've never had anyone go to those lengths.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of flattering, actually.
That's precisely my point. So
the clarinet gets them wet.
Just purse your lips and blow, baby.
Eric, what's your favorite woodwind?
Oh, man. I don't know. Sexy sax is quite something.
Sexy sax is good. But, this guy, boy. I don't know. Do we revere clarinetists on this side of the border as much as they do up there? Why is Canada so attached to them?
Over here, if he had a girlfriend, it would be like, well, at least you had a girlfriend, dude. Yeah,
right.
she might
Happy
be
with
crazy,
that.
but you had a girlfriend, and you're really good at clarinet, so.
There's some sexy, sweaty sax, boy. Except he played the clarinet. It isn't a sax.
Yeah.
It's just what you
this
like.
This is my instrument.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, is there just clarinet music?
Yeah, probably old Woody Allen tunes. Probably some. I don't know who a big is. Benny Goodman, was he a clarinetist?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know if there's one famous.
I think this is the
clarinetist.
first clarinetist I've ever heard of.
Yeah, exactly.
Benny Goodman was an American jazz
Look at
clarinetist
you.
and bandleader, known as the King of Swing. Okay, "Sing Sing Sing" was a huge song by Benny Goodman.
Do-wop, 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 do-wop.
Along those lines.
I mean, we have other better instruments here. Everybody here
Yeah.
had to learn to play the recorder.
Oh, for sure.
And that's a
Oh,
sexy
yeah.
instrument.
That's how you get laid, too.
Yeah.
Now, that was from my audition that I sent to a guy who only accepted 2 recorder players every year.
That is a guy that you're not going to let get away. That's
No.
a guy that you're going to break into his email and make sure that he's not getting that scholarship
That's right.
to go across the country to recorder school.
Did you guys actually take
Hot
it
cross
though?
buns on repeat.
See, everybody knows this song by Benny Goodman, "Sing Sing Sing."
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah, we've heard it.
Yeah, it gets played in
He
like
played
The Mask,
clarinet
I
in
believe.
this? I think it was.
Yeah.
He was a clarinetist. That's right. There's probably a solo. This is like a World War II song, I think. One of the most famous
I don't hear
songs.
the clarinet in it right now.
Well, he'll probably do a little thing in here. Let me find
I
it.
only hear the brass.
Hold on. Where does he come in? Because isn't it more like tootie tootie tootie? Doesn't it kind of sound like that?
I'll
Like
take your
that?
word for it.
Tootie toot tootie.
Poppy, poppy, poppy,
I think that's the clarinet.
Is that
in
the
there.
clarinet? No.
No.
Those
That's
are
a
just trumpets.
trumpet.
Yeah.
Those are the trumpets. Well, maybe this is just when he was a band leader.
Yeah.
But he's got to be in there somewhere. He didn't write the song, so.
I don't know that this is a woodwind song.
There's your cowbell.
Someone's
More
killing the
cowbell.
cowbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like big band stuff.
There's
Oh,
your
there it
clarinet.
is.
There it is.
He's charming some snakes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe this actually sounds like something that Pound Cake would like because it sounds Aladdin-like. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds just like it.
Arabian Nights.
Hey, you didn't
Why
go
do
to
you
the
say
play.
it like that?
Because that's how they say it in the play.
No, it's not.
This is literally a video of a girl playing the song in front of her webcam with her daughter staring next to her. Like she just learned it, like she's doing chopsticks on the piano.
Did you guys have a recorder?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Hot Cross
Buns.
was
That
the
was a
first one.
song.
Never
Yeah.
played the recorder.
Hot cross buns.
No. Recorder's just that plastic thing with a couple of holes
Yeah,
in
it's
it.
black and cream.
Huh. I never played, but now I want to play
It was
this.
mandatory for us.
Really?
Yep.
Yep,
Fourth
everybody had to
grade.
learn it. Yep.
Mandatory recorder?
We had
It was in
recorder
music class, yeah.
Yeah,
It
in
was
music.
4th and 5th grade, I think.
Yeah.
Huh. Why was it mandatory? Just so you
I
could
don't know,
hear
it was a
pitch?
unit. It was a
and-
unit in the music class.
Yeah, because it was the easiest, cheapest way to say, hey, everybody's got to learn an instrument.
This is how you read
Yeah.
music.
Ah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Was your gateway drug to the xylophone?
Totally.
Well,
no,
was it not the xylophone?
I played the bells, which
the marimba
is the
or
glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel. That's right.
We never called it the glockenspiel. We called it bells. But they had a day after we learned to play the recorder. They had a day where the band program from junior high came in, and they said, "All right, test out all these instruments. What can you play?" And I couldn't make a sound on anything, so they're like, "She's percussion."
Wow. Okay.
And then they didn't have a bells or glockenspiel player, and they wanted one, so they kind of pushed me towards that.
All right.
And I regretted it ever since.
Well, Benny Goodman's the only clarinetist I can think of. I know Kenny G plays that.
He's everywhere.
He gets his wings.
He's got an alto sax, right?
He's got that long, thin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when Kenny
Long,
G played,
thin.
well,
You know, for the longest time, I thought Kenny G and Fabio were the same person.
well, that's Fabio playing right there. So now listen. This is Kenny G. Listen closely.
See the
All right?
difference?
See the difference? Now this is Fabio. And don't forget Squidward.
Yes.
Clarinetist. He's
Exactly.
really, really
I
good.
forgot
Oh,
about that.
yeah. He's probably the most
He's the famous
Yeah.
clarinet player.
Squidward.
That's right. One time at band camp,
I wasn't a band
Squidward
guy.
went in.
I was an orchestra guy. It's better.
What's an orchestra guy? What does that mean?
It means instead of playing in band, you play an orchestra.
Remember he played the viola?
Oh, right.
He did play the viola.
Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
But in orchestra they have a clarinet, right?
Yeah.
No.
And in
Yes, they
college, he
do.
switched to the flute.
Orchestra has everything. They have woodwind, brass, percussion. Like they
Not
have
in
all
our
of it.
school. They didn't have everything.
No,
Band
but
wa-
an orchestra has all of
Okay,
those
sure,
things.
but I'm
yeah.
just
No,
going
there's
off-
one orchestra. It's his high school orchestra, and that's it.
Anybody mess
That's-
with Miss Thomas? Miss
that's-
Thomas had the best orchestra class ever.
Yeah, it really sounds like it. You don't even know the things that are in it.
We would have that if it needed, like, if the song had, like, accompaniment of, like, a clarinet or something like that. But most of the time, we didn't need it. We had a cello, bass, everything.
Boom, 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 boom.
It was
I like
dope.
how he goes, we had a cello and a bass, and we had everything.
Everything.
Violin,
Cello and a
bass.
bass. A viola.
She played piano when she needed to, and that was it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Resurrection Tour is coming through in August to play the Akron Civic Theater. It's Puddle of Mud, it's Saliva, it's Soil, it's a handful of bands. I'll have tickets for you in a bit. You want to see them? 35192 if you want to text.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. It's
Hey everybody, welcome to Sliding in the DMs. I'm Bill Squire.
I'm Pound Cake.
I'm Erica Lauren.
Yeah, feet up, ready to go.
That's right.
You and Mary have been doing a little thing together, a little side project.
Yeah.
Where you watch The Bachelorette and then do like a Twitter thing.
No, that's while they watch the Bachelor.
Yeah, you tweet
Yeah, like
along
we
with
live
it.
tweet it. Yeah.
And I think it's a lot of fun. It's funny. I don't even know anything about the show, but I've read some of them, and I enjoy that. What do you think is something that you could have fun with that you didn't even like? Like, I feel like I could go and watch that show with you guys and have fun just because of that. Is there something that you like hate? Because I mean, obviously, I've talked a lot of crap about The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Is there something that you feel like you could like enjoy just because you were there to mock it?
I would totally go watch a superhero movie with one of you guys
That's
and
what
live tweet that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Honestly, it's really interesting because the dynamic between Mary and I are friends, but then also she's a comedian, and also I am way more familiar with those Bachelor shows than she is. She's just starting to watch, so I'm filling her in on all the inside scoop or whatever.
Girl, let me school you. Let me tell you.
So we have two different perspectives coming from that. So watching like maybe a superhero movie with maybe you or James, a friend of ours, or somebody that is really into those, could be interesting too.
Right. What about you, Pound Cake? What would be something that you're not a big fan of, but if you're there to like mock it and then just kind of you might really enjoy it?
Insert sporting event here.
Any sporting event?
Any sporting event.
Okay.
Any sporting event, because chances are there's going to be hot guys there. And I'm going to be like, oh, go team. Go, like, oh, look at that field goal when they're playing baseball. Oh, what inning is it when they're playing basketball?
Right.
So
you know enough to know, like, you're getting things wrong on purpose.
What was the thing when I took you to the blackout game? What was the thing that you didn't know? It was like an obvious basketball, term.
Like a free throw? I think that's what it...
He was like, how many points is a free throw? Or it was something worse than that.
Yeah, but I think... Because I think we talked about it on the show.
We did talk about it.
And I think it was something about a free throw, but he didn't know what to call the free throw.
Oh, it was damn it, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I don't remember.
Oh my
Three-pointer?
God.
Or
No. Like, I think it was like, go grab that ball, and you guys like, that's called a rebound or something, like that.
I was dying.
Ball grabbing.
I was absolutely dying, especially since like he's not the sports guy, and I brought him to that event. I was thinking he could at least just play along.
and
he
he's
could
there
barely
with
do
his
that.
brother who knows a lot, and like he could be
Yeah.
like, "What's that called?" Like
Yeah.
he could just ask
Nope.
real quickly, but no,
Just blurted it out.
loud and proud, even in every facet of your life.
And then celebrated ridiculously when they got 100 points and got free chicken nuggets.
I mean, you make it worth my while. I mean,
That's what would make a sporting
Yeah.
event fun for him, is free food.
Right. Well, that's why he went. That's why he was excited.
Oh, the snacks galore. Like, if you don't come, like I said, I am a product of my environment. I may not go for the show. I may not like the show, but the environment, I like the people around me and
You like the
my
energy,
friends,
the activity.
and there's great food. So I like a spectacle. I like an event. So I have FOMO when stuff like that happens. So no.
You also like being VIP.
Yeah, so if someone was like, "Hey, I got courtside tickets," I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, that's a sporting event." No, I'm like, I'm sitting courtside. I don't know what team is playing, but I know that I'm courtside is superior to all the other sides.
Yeah. So mine would
He
be
barely took a breath just now.
events for children.
Oh.
So things like that, like any like
kids'
soccer game?
Paw Patrol Live.
Oh, yeah.
Something like
Disney
that.
on Ice?
Or I watched this like 20-minute video today, and I was just fascinated about a guy that went to a Jake Paul live performance.
Oh, God.
And what a nightmare, and how boring it
It's
was,
just him
and how
taking selfies and
it's him
running around.
just talking about how he's so rich and that makes him better than other people. And these are like little kids that are these are like 7, 8, 9-year-old kids that are just like,
Was it a
Team
stand-up
10.
or were they rapping?
No, they're like rapping and singing and doing sketches, like really, really bad sketches. So something like that where it is so painful, I would actually probably enjoy
like
just the
live tweeting or making
ridiculous.
fun of it.
Yeah.
You know how some people call our line as a mistake, like they're trying to get Kiss FM or something like that? There was a guy that called, and he was like, "Hey, I want tickets to Jake Paul, and I just wanted the details on that." I said, "Bro, I got nothing for you. That's the wrong show."
Oh, dude, you should have.
Why did you put him on?
Put him on.
Because Alan doesn't like people.
He loves
Local people.
messing with those people.
No, not local people. I put a Cleveland person on one time.
But for Jake Paul, it's damn it, that would have been really fun.
Like, a missed opportunity.
But yeah, he was like, I just needed the details of it. I'm like, you need to go to promotions for that, bro.
Oh man, that would have been funny. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. We'll be right back. Bye. Hey everybody, welcome to back room edition of Siding in the DMs. This is where Pound Cake eats his lunch.
Yeah, because I'm clearly not allowed to eat in the studio, so this is my lunch area, all secluded and sequestered off, and no one bothers me.
And they put the different tents out here to dry out and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
this is where computers and chairs go to die.
Yes,
so
it is.
I look really tan. I really do like this window. This lighting is legit.
This is good. This is good. I look very white, so it's telling the truth. You had a hosting gig this weekend?
An MC gig.
MC
I had my
gig,
first.
yeah.
I had my first wedding, and a couple was very lovely, very beautiful, evenly matched. So that was great. But
What do you mean evenly matched?
They both, equaled each other out.
Like they're the same amount of attractiveness?
They're in each other's league.
Okay,
Yeah. Because sometimes
you're like,
you guys
"Wow, big
judge.
cat." Yeah.
You guys know you judge. If you see like a hot wife or like a hot guy, you're like, Like,
oh, that's my whole life.
Guy has a
Anytime.
lot of money. He's
Anytime.
packing some heat, or the girl is like, oh, she's settling. You just judge. We judge, but they were evenly matched. They were beautiful.
That's what I get. I get the girls that like people are like, oh, she's settling. She just wants someone that
She just wants someone to be there, and that's not gonna cheat.
Yeah.
But that's
and then I show them what's wrong.
You're a dog. You're what mothers warn their daughters about. What dads warn their daughters about. But want to know the best part of the night?
What's that?
You know how like we've been to weddings where they have the dinner, but they have like the after dinner snack before everyone leaves. Guess what their snack was?
Tacos, burritos,
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
They brought in. It was like by the truckload. They brought in like it was like just dumped like hundreds of sandwiches like on the table. And me being me, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. I'm sitting there trying to MC, and then I'm like
You're
y'all.
distracted,
I'm
yeah.
like y'all are aware that there's Chick-fil-A over there. They're like, oh yeah, there's Chick-fil-A over there. I'm like, white people like Chick-fil-A's over there. Like there's Chick-fil-A.
It's
Like,
free. You can go get it. Well, I was at an event in Menor, and the food vendor was Chick-fil-A, and they ran out of sandwiches and had to bring a bunch more in, like halfway through the show.
That's amazing. I saw that. That was a really nice venue. People out there picnicking and doing stuff like that.
The Menor Civic Amphitheater is gorgeous. It's state of the art.
It looks like it.
It was so much fun.
What old lady showed you her boobs?
It wasn't me that I got. She didn't show me her boobs. She showed Jeff Davis, the guy that was hosting, her boobs, and it wasn't even just her boobs. She had like prosthetic boobs that she pulled out of her bra. It was hilarious. It was on Mary's Instagram story. I think it's gone now because those things expire.
24 hours.
But it was such a ridiculous because like it looked like she was. I had to see. I was backstage and then I was like, "What is going on?" And then all of a sudden, she pulls out these prosthetic titties, and just everybody was cheering and going crazy for it.
Yeah, all things considered, with everything we did, I worked 7 days a week last week, so there was like 7 days. I'm like dead. Like,
well, one of your days was foot golf, so that's. It
was still work.
It was relaxing and fun.
We'll get to that on the show.
Yeah, I thought it was very fun. It's my favorite event that we do, honestly.
But with that being said, like, I got to prep for Pride this weekend, so Columbus Pride.
Did anything else happen with just the hosting? Just Chick-fil-A? That's the emceeing?
Oh, that was my highlight. That was great. Yeah. Everything else went swell.
Mm-hmm. You put a good word in with Hazel for me?
You saying names on here? Yeah, we'll talk about that.
All right. Well, that's fine. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Did you see the high school valedictorian in Kentucky who trolled the audience there?
Is this the one that stood from outside?
Oh. No.
Oh.
High school valedictorian in Kentucky gave a speech on Sunday, and he gave a quote. Everybody cheered. Well, I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just get involved. Fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for a seat at the head of the table.
216-578-1007 to join us, or 800-348-1007. 35192 if you want to text. AlanCoxShow.com for everything else. Live stream. You can watch the show if you're so inclined, including the camera pointed almost directly at the ground with our own Erica Lauren in the frame at AlanCoxShow.com. Alan, I can't believe with all that clarinet talk that you forgot about the fabulous clarinet playing of one Ferris Bueller.
Oh.
I absolutely forgot about that.
Never had one lesson.
Right, never had one. And he was amazing. He was what they call a prodigy, I believe, at the clarinet. Alan, I was the solo tuba player for my school's top orchestra, and my director would always tell me to play louder and bolder. But when I switched into band mode, couldn't do that alongside 3 other tubas, or we would overpower the rest of the band.
How do you play the tuba quietly?
It is a powerful instrument. I don't know. First question is, how do you play the tuba? Then, how do you play it quietly? Oh, who does not have their blood and flesh stirred to Promethean heights with the mighty tuba? Oh, my God. I've got to excuse myself because I have massive erection. I
always felt bad for like the marching band tuba players that had to march with that thing. It was heavy as balls.
Yeah,
and
then
it's hot out.
Or in the wintertime when you would see a band when it was cold, they do the Rose Bowl parade.
Yeah.
I always think about how do they keep their lips from freezing on any of those
probably
metal
warm
instruments.
and all. My freshman year of college, my roommate was like he was like the University of Akron band guy. Like he was one of the people in the band. And I want to say he played tuba or
No, it's not a tuba.
No, it wasn't a tuba. It was
French horn.
It's not a tuba.
Anyways, it was one of those big brass things, and he was
Knuckles?
No. Anyways,
one of those big brass. What are the big brass instruments? Trumpet,
saxophone,
tuba,
trumpet.
That's not a big instrument. You confuse a tuba and a trumpet?
I just know I had one of the big horns.
Oh, okay.
At any rate, he would play that, and I just would always ask him because he would have to like peel his uniform off at the end of practice because they have the practice that they have to do.
Yeah, those things
and
don't breathe.
The uniform, and then you're carrying around the instrument, and you have to play it, and then you be in formation. Like there's a lot of variables.
Was it a sousaphone?
No.
It's like a smaller tuba?
No.
Oh.
But it would just suck because they do a lot of stunts there. They move and they
Was
jerk
it a
around.
trombone?
I think it was what the trumpet, like what
Bill
said.
Bill.
Who's that guy over there?
Yeah. All right.
But I just thought that was unfair because you have to be over there during summer vacation. Like everyone else is like home for break, and
but then you get to go on those band trips. You get to go to Disney or something.
Who cares?
Yeah, people
It's
care. People
hot.
like doing it. Yeah, and
I was
then
in
they
band. We didn't get to go anywhere except for like the local parade.
But you weren't in college though, were you?
No.
I wasn't in band, but they would go on Florida trips every 3 years, and my sister joined just to go on the trip, and she was like standing there, like she didn't play anything, but they just needed people for the formation, so they just hand her a flute, and she's just standing there chewing gum.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, I'm going to Florida. I don't care.
I joined choir because I found out the next year they were going to the Bahamas, and I went to the Bahamas for choir.
See, that's badass.
Did you fundraise though?
Do you find something funny about the word tromboner?
We did have to fundraise, and I didn't end up making enough money, so like the choir director like got some funding to like pay for the kids that didn't sell enough.
I hated people like you because people who were
What about all the
serious-
kids who busted their ass to get enough money
That's
and they
what
got to
I'm
go?
I don't know what
You
to
guys
say.
just got brought along?
No, most of the kids just had their parents buy it out, but my parents didn't have any money to buy it out, so we had to do it the other.
Oh, you were a charity case.
But you were
Yeah, I
specifically
was.
there
I was.
just to go on the trip, though.
What?
You were specifically in that band to go on the trip.
I was in choir, and
What?
yes, I was in it specifically because I found out they were going to be going to. I joined junior year. I found out they were going to be going to the Bahamas, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll join choir now."
You can't blame anybody for doing that.
I hate people like
yeah,
that because
and
there's
they
people
got
in-
mad because they gave me a solo. All the choir kids were
Okay,
pissed.
wouldn't you have done the same thing if you
No.
found out that the band was you played the viola,
But I
whatever.
joined
You
orchestra.
love trips.
I love trips, but like I'm all for going for
He
the right
wants
reasons.
authentic people there. He
Going
wants
for the
real.
right reasons.
Yes.
Because people bust their ass. We practiced so hard because they took us. I didn't get to go because
You were butthurt you didn't get to come to Arizona with us.
No, I wasn't.
No, I don't think he was.
I was not butthurt. This I'm getting paid.
He didn't make a big deal out of that.
That's very different than us busting our ass and
Well, you're-
practicing.
So where
Yeah.
did you go on your trip?
We would go to Disney. They took us to Disney. We would do like Cedar Point trips. We would do the very
I
last
see.
year.
So you were stateside. You're mad that she joined and got to go to the Bahamas.
No. They went to Italy. The year that I went to JVS.
We didn't get to go to no Italy.
Yeah,
but-
the year that we went to JVS, they played in Venice. They played in Milan. They played all over.
They played in Mulan,
the movie.
Milan.
the stage production.
Milan.
Oh.
So
they
I helped,
played at the Milan performance of Mulan.
I helped fundraise for that trip, and I didn't even get to go because I went to JVS instead of going to Oberlin High
So
School.
then
you-
you're
that's
at
what you're
fault.
salty
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, then you're a sucker.
Don't
I'm
take
not-
it out on me.
I'm
You
not a
helped
sucker.
fundraise and then didn't even go.
I was planning on going. I was planning on doing both, but it was really hard to go to like the vocational school and then do.
So you made
high
a
school
choice.
orchestra.
Why are you mad about it?
But no, because there were other kids in there that did not care at all that people were in there practicing and really were passionate about playing the viola or violin or whatever. They were like, I'm going to go to Italy. And
Right.
they were
Most people are
the
going to
bare
take
minimum.
some kind of shortcut.
Yeah.
Right.
Could you, with your skills that you learned at the JVS, your woodworking skills, could you build me the smallest violin to play for you right now?
The viola.
I could barely build a birdhouse. Like,
Could you put a birdhouse in my soul?
In fairness, though, the Bahamas trip was not all it was cracked up to be. First of all, because you're on a choir trip.
and you have to play.
And so
you have to
there's
sing.
like all these people drinking and having fun, but we're in choir, so we like have to follow rules.
Yeah,
and
you're like
everyone-
you're island nerds.
And I had no friends in choir, so I was basically on a vacation by myself.
Sounds wonderful.
It wasn't that wonderful.
Not when you can't drink.
A mecation?
No.
Oh, you just lay poolside.
In
and
high
tan.
school?
Yes.
No, but you probably weren't laying poolside, were you? You were singing in
No, we had
buildings
to
and crap.
sing. Yeah, we had like there was a contest on the cruise ship.
Yeah,
we
it's,
had
it's
to
like
sing.
it's like a work trip almost.
Yeah, we did get like a beach day, but like for the most part, I mean, it was like we were there for choir.
Did you win?
I won for my solo.
Oh, they hated you even more.
Oh yeah, they were so and then I like that year I got a lead role in the musical. They hated me because it's all a contest there. Like nobody's supportive of each other. They're all like in the arts program, everyone's competitive. It wasn't fun in high school. Like I did community theater. That was way more fun. It was way less competitive. It was just more like laid back. This was like
Yeah, but you're super competitive.
I was, but like at the same time, I wasn't mad if somebody else got something over me.
She
I
looked
was like,
at him
well,
as-
I should have worked harder.
Yeah, she looked at him
Oh,
as
they
a
were mad because
opponent.
yeah, but listen, if those people want to be in any kind of performance, whatever, that's
Yeah.
all that is rejection, and maybe you get a gig every now
Yeah,
and
but
then.
they called me a noob because I joined junior year and all of them had been in choir since freshman year. So they were like, they felt that they were owed all the solos and all the lead roles
well,
of
that's silly.
everything.
That's a good time to learn that.
Like, or just
No.
practice harder and
Right.
be better.
Yeah, just be better. That's all you gotta do. Just be more talented. Just have more natural
And
talent.
I was not the best singer, but I was willing to put in the work to like really nail a solo, like work with my voice coach and like make sure
Mariah.
that I.
You're in there like with the little finger
No,
points.
no, because choir was lame. You didn't get to do all those runs.
In fact, I believe our first lady said it best. Be best.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
When
Be
they go
best.
low, you go high with singing.
No. The current first lady.
Oh.
Not the. Not the memorable one.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah.
current one.
That's
Be
what she
best.
said,
That's her
be
whole
best.
Although
thing.
I'm sure she'll plagiarize that at some point.
Be best is her thing. That's her anti-bullying thing. Alan, people literally bust their ass to get crypt tags, and Pound Cake wants to glom onto that.
Yeah. He was all saying that he was going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, like yesterday he said that.
Yeah, exactly.
Alan, if Pound Cake found out RMG was going to Hawaii, his ass would be in the fart box so fast.
Hell yes.
No, I wouldn't.
It has been in there before, though.
What are you talking about?
Haven't you screened for them?
Yes, but I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not looking at getting any perks from their show. Why would I?
But don't you think if they were like, we can't take so-and-so, we need one more person to go to basically answer the phones, you don't think you would be
No.
strolling down the hallway, walking past just to
No,
see if you could
because
get noticed?
one,
Please.
that's a fantasy.
You guys, he's just whistling.
That's a
Down
fantasy that will never happen because they would ask Alan before they would even ask me, and then I would ask Alan before I even said yes.
Who
So
would ask me?
They would ask you if
Who's they? If
the
RMG
Rover
was
crew?
going to Hawaii, who
Yes,
would
and-
ask?
No, he means ask you for permission to send him.
Yeah.
Well, they
Not
would.
ask you to go.
Oh. Yeah, they would ask
So
me.
with your blessing, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'm going. But
Well,
I
I
would
wouldn't say no. Why would I say no? You can't go. I mean, if it
because
was
you
going
need me here.
right, but I don't know. If they were going to go and it wouldn't impact here, I'd say yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never been.
The point is, though, you would put yourself in a prime situation to be picked.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't put myself in a prime situation to be picked because if they
Pound
wanted me,
cake?
they would just pick me.
You're
Now, just
disappointing
be
me.
honest.
You should always put yourself in a prime position.
That's right.
I'm on
You
a
should.
show right now.
But what
though.
if we were on Christmas? It was going to be during when we were on Christmas break.
That's what I mean. If it didn't impact us,
Well, that's a different That's a different
Okay,
story
say
then.
it didn't impact this show. Would you not be trying to put yourself in prime position to go on that trip?
Sure, I have the qualifications to go. Why wouldn't I?
The qualification.
he does. He can
I
pick
do.
up a phone and say hello.
But I'm a phone screener. I do it for this show. It's just high
He's
volume.
got experience.
The
That's what it's about,
qualification.
He does. They say, "Can you pick up a phone and say hello?"
Hey, in
and
this
then
day
put
and
that
age,
person on hold.
in this day and age, that is actually a
It is a
skill.
skill,
I'm on the
because
station.
you try talking to someone that has never had a landline on the phone, they just pick up the phone and go, "Huh?" Like they don't say hello. Yeah. Like it's a very
Well,
different
and I've
situation.
listened to former interns talk on the phone. Hey, it's Alan's show. What can I do for you?
Yeah, because I never created like a phone screener script because I
Oh, that
thought.
wasn't the script. Hey, what?
No, it
it's
was in
Ellen's
the
show?
manual I created years ago.
Oh, was it really?
I created like a 10-page manual only so that I wouldn't have to try so hard to train people.
Where is that now?
Oh, God, it's saved on my desktop somewhere.
Oh, it is.
And thankfully, you don't need it.
Well, you read it. Or you didn't read it.
When you were an
but
intern, you had
none
to
of
read
them
it, didn't you?
read it, I don't think.
Well, that's kind of counterproductive
But I
to
told
why
them-
you created it.
I said, if you have a question, refer back to the manual before you come bugging Alan or me.
But like,
And they'd always come to me. I'm like, did you read it? It's in the manual.
Yeah, it's in the manual.
as much as you guys say I'm all about the perks and all that stuff, I'm not a jealous.
You tell us that you're about the
Yeah,
perks.
we don't say
We're
that.
not pulling things out.
I'm
Every single thing we know about you is from what you have told us about yourself. But we haven't assumed anything.
I'm talking about. I take things when they're offered to me, but like
Yes, that is a perk. That's what a perk is.
Okay, but like I am not greedy or anything like that. I'm not jealous. When you guys go to
No
Arizona,
one said you were
when you guys
greedy.
go to Arizona, that's cool. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not-
I retract that statement because you were cool about
He
the
was cool
situation.
about that.
Also, I mean, Rover and them, they go to like the iHeart pool party and all that. Like, that's cool for them.
I have
That's a
heard
different-
you literally say to me, What, they get to go to the iHeart pool party?
No, that's just like, whoa, they get to go. That's dope. But I'm no
And
hard
you've said,
feelings.
I want to go.
I would love to go, but I'm not. I would love to go on our show. Why can't we go? I never said I want to go with Rover and them. Like, I never said that.
Well, you just want to go.
Well, sure.
That would be dope.
It would be dope, Erica.
Yeah, well,
Duh.
obviously.
It would be so dope. It would be, might I even say, hella dope.
Wow. That's really saying something.
Yep. I'm bringing hella back. How do you like that? It sucked the first time. Let's see if we can make it cool the second time. The first time. We cannot.
And if
Sorry.
anybody can't, it's especially us.
Exactly. Yeah. Hella was never cool.
We can take cool things and make them not cool.
That's true.
But we're not going to make something that was not cool.
No. Hey, Steve.
Hey, hope you guys are having a hella dope Friday.
Hey, mega
It's
dildo.
catching
Steve. See, it's happening all of a sudden.
You guys were talking about band trips that had me reminiscing. I was one of the jock nerds that was in football but still in marching bands, threw off the pads and all that.
I was going to say, what the hell did you do during football games?
Well, we marched in the halftime, and then when it
Wow.
So what do you have, like your football pants on and then like...
Yeah.
So
That's hilarious.
So you rode the pine a lot while the team was playing games.
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
yeah. But yeah, so we graduated in 05, so 01, obviously 9/11 happened, so that travel was, we couldn't go to Florida for a couple of years. So when we did go to Florida, and any high school kids listening, I recommend this. Get yourself an 18-year-old friend, because we were 17. We had a friend that was 18. We go to Epcot. I think it was at Epcot while we were marching, and our friend went and bought cigars, and we were buzzing off our asses off these things.
Cigars.
Oh, cigars.
Were you inhaling them?
You got to do what you got to do to get a buzz,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would just find a 21-year-old friend to get me alcohol.
Or just buy weed.
Rocking some Swisher Sweets.
You can get
on
some
the trip.
edibles. Yeah, something like that.
That's a little more dangerous. I mean, you got to keep it.
You had to keep it low key.
Right.
Yeah, I got you. All right, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, but you're going to smell like a cigar the whole time. If you eat an edible, you're in Disney, you're going to have a great time.
I like the prospect of a football player who then had to go and be in the marching band.
I like the idea of him still wearing the helmet and playing a trumpet.
He's putting the mouthpiece of the saxophone
Through
the face mask.
The face mask, yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine it was the star quarterback. There we go. All right, now strap on that saxophone and get out there. All right.
So silly.
I remember we had I marched one time, or maybe it was two times. We had the fall parade or whatever, and it's the community parade. We had to march in it, and there's the bells or glockenspiel was not portable. So they would have me play some other percussive instrument, and they had me play the toms, which is like 3 little drums that kind of sound like dunk, like that. And those things were probably, 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was maybe 85 pounds soaking wet. And I just remember as the parade went on.
You had to strap them around your neck. It was like
it was a shoulder. It was like a shoulder harness that you wore, and that was made out of metal. Just the harness probably weighed 20 pounds or something. And I just remember as the parade went on, I just felt myself getting weaker and weaker. I think both times that someone else had to take over.
So basically, they were really trying to get you to quit band, and you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, they're like, how can we get this girl to stop playing? Let's just put 80 pounds on her and tell her to march in the sun.
Alan, we went to Disney when I was in band, and the drive on the travel buses was always awful because the orchestra girls would always poop in the bathroom bus.
Ooh, that's against the rules.
Those damn orchestra girls.
There's no number 2 on the bus.
You don't poo on the bus.
16-hour drive. Oof. The Chris Hardwick and Sylvester Stallone are both in the news today for Me Too type accusations. Stallone, I can't be that shocked. Chris Hardwick thing, if that's true, his ex-girlfriend, he's married now, he's got a kid, I think, but his ex-girlfriend wrote some op-ed piece where she didn't name him, but she basically did everything except name him.
Mm-hmm.
Made it extraordinarily clear who she was talking about. And I don't know Chris Hardwick. I don't know. I'm sure I've interviewed him over the years, but I don't know the man. But it certainly, from everything that people do seem to know about Chris Hardwick, it certainly doesn't sound like the guy that people know. I mean,
I feel it's probably true.
You think so?
Yeah, because
he was a fat drunk for a long time, then he got skinny and sober and famous.
Yeah, I think he strikes me as a guy that's wildly insecure. and that is somebody that just is able to turn it on for the camera and might be some crazy psycho off the camera.
Okay.
But I don't know. I mean, that's quite a story to just make up. I mean,
Well,
it's
Chloe
like pages
Dykstra,
long.
his ex-girlfriend, whose dad was like one of the huge effects guys in the 70s. Like he did Star Wars. John Dykstra did like Star Wars and Close Encounters, stuff like that. But, you know, she's a lot younger than Hardwick, and I don't know. I don't know that he's even had any kind of response to it.
In her thing, she says that he gave her a list of rules like weeks into their relationship.
Yeah.
And I don't understand how, like, if and
They were 8 simple
experience.
rules for dating my daughter.
Yeah,
Bill.
they're if someone's going to put you in that place and it's that new in a relationship, I just don't understand why you would stick with that. And I'm not saying that she's lying or anything like that. I just don't have that mentality.
I think she said, like, in the article, she said something like, I know that seems ridiculous, like 2 weeks in to like be doing, you know, following this kind of stuff. But she was like, I just assumed because he said he had just gotten out of a bad relationship that he was just wildly insecure and that we would work through. That would be something we'd work through. But I'm like, if a guy gave me rules 2 weeks in, I'd be like, next. But maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand.
Maybe other people are more susceptible.
I'm just trying to understand what her motive or what her reasoning was. And I'm sure she had some sort of victim mentality at the time that made her think that that was the right thing to do because she was trying to probably protect him because he was just out of a difficult relationship. But that's just one of those things where I've talked to girls that have been in similar situations.
Yeah.
And they're friends of mine, and I'm trying to help them. And, like, there's a lot of people trying to help them get out of situations, and they just keep going back. And that's one of the most frustrating things.
The power of relationships or, like, you know, heartache or whatever that it has over people and how it changes people and makes them do things they wouldn't ordinarily do. I mean, I was in, like, an emotionally abusive relationship in college, like I think it was my sophomore year. And this dude had me wrapped around his finger. And he wasn't even that hot. He wasn't that special. He wasn't that great. And I was obsessed with him, completely obsessed with him. And I had kind of rules. Like, I had to call him by a certain time. But if I didn't call, he would freak out on me.
What is that? Is that because you read that as, boy, this guy must really care?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That
makes sense. That makes sense.
One day, I showered twice in a day because I, like, got up in the morning. I went, which is normal, right?
Yeah.
I went to class, showered before that and everything. Then I went to the gym, showered again, right? Well, he was trying to get a hold of me during the time that I would normally I was supposed to call him. And my shower ran a little late because it was a dorm room and I was waiting for the other girls to finish before I could shower. So I was just in the bathroom waiting for my turn. So I remember him making me go on webcam to prove that my hair was wet, to prove that I had been in the shower again because he thought I was cheating on him because I didn't call at the time he said.
And because you were so young and still kind of naive, you were like, okay, I guess this is something people do.
It came down to my parents. Like, that was when I ended up in the psych ward, like that relationship. That was what ended up, like,
pushing you that
when I told a social worker I was, like, you know, contemplating suicide or something, not knowing that they would just commit me.
Mm-hmm.
They got tipped off when Erica showed up extraordinarily clean.
Yeah.
But it was that guy. I mean, that guy, and God, my parents were like, you got to get rid of this guy. You don't understand. Like, you have to be rid of this person. And I couldn't. I don't know what it was about this guy, but he was so controlling.
Did they get on the webcam and tell him that you were all done with him?
No, but they did. They gave him a stern talking to, like, do not contact my daughter again.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was like, if he shows up here, he's like, I'm bringing out the baseball bat from under the bed. I'm like, all right, Dad, chill
I can't afford all this soap. All right. I got a break. Kevin Bozeman is at Hilarities all weekend. He's going to rejoin us shortly. We'll catch up with him. Tickets for that Resurrection tour in a little bit as well. It's going to hit Akron with Puddle of Mud and Saliva. And we'll be back. 35192 if you want to text.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Let me go to Rick, who is in Jacksonville, Florida. Hello, Rick.
Hey, what's up, Alan?
How are you, sir?
Long time no talk since I moved out of Cleveland.
Oh, beautiful. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Erica Lauren.
Oh, thank you very much.
I've been in support of you the whole time. Deuce Dynamite on Twitter, although you won't find me right now because I kind of got suspended, but whatever.
You got suspended on Twitter for what?
I got a little mouthy with somebody. I'm not even sure who it was, but apparently I pissed them off and they reported me. So
Oh,
7-day ban.
But you got to go. Oh, so I was gonna say you got to go ham on Twitter to get a week-long
Twitter
suspension.
jail.
Yeah, that's a long one. It's usually only like 24 hours, but whatever.
And you don't even remember who?
It's usually. How many times have you been banned?
Yeah, I feel like you're playing coy with us, Rick.
Well, okay, so there's this actor named Nick Searcy. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him.
Yeah,
He was
from
in,
Justified.
Yeah, he was in.
You got a problem with Nick Searcy? I just saw him. I just saw him in 3 billboards.
Well, the thing is he was going off on this Roseanne thing and all this racial stuff, and he was posting pictures of his adopted children, which are black kids.
Right.
He was using it as a tool to call other people racist because they were calling him out saying it's messed up that you're using your kids as a pawn in your argument on Twitter. And he just kept saying, I know my biracial family upset you. I went off on him and some of his followers.
But why did you go off on him? He clearly but if he has biracial kids, that means he has an experience that he can share with the rest of us who don't.
Well, the thing with it was it was almost like he just brought this into play because he was basically being torn down for something else. I don't even know how this originally even started.
Because he's a conservative. He's like a well-known conservative actor. Yeah.
Yeah, and he seemed to think that my, I guess, liberal. I don't like that liberal conservative titling, but I'm apparently liberal because I have an open mind. Obviously.
Okay,
so
he thought you were a libtard.
Yeah, but you got to calm down.
Yeah.
What was the tweet that you sent?
Yeah.
One of the guys that was one of his followers, he was talking all the smack, and it's always the people with no picture. So he had a picture of a gun and a knife.
Always a no
It's
photo.
Russia.
So his gun and his knife picture, I told him that we kept going back and forth, and then finally I was like, you want to be a Mr. Tough Guy hiding behind a picture of a gun and a knife. I could do something with those for you, and I can't say it on the air.
But why would you? Oh, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't understand people who get
Clean them, right?
Why would somebody get worked up at someone who has a silhouette avatar? A literal stranger.
You know what? You're absolutely right.
It's
It
not,
was really ridiculous, and it is what it is. Now everybody knows.
You never want to respond in the moment, Rick.
You're right, because I'm an emotional guy, so...
Now, granted, being in Twitter jail is not going to change your life one single iota. You'll probably be better off for it.
Probably, yeah. It's probably for the best.
Sure.
Yeah, for a guy like me and my big mouth, it probably is for the best.
Boy, I better make sure I never piss off Rick down in Jacksonville.
I would like to imagine a scenario where a like D-list actor gets my hackles up. I respond to him,
Nick Searcy,
and then I'm in Twitter jail for 7 days.
He just played a priest in 3 billboards. He was in this movie for like 3 minutes. Oh boy,
that's a good story.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I got into Twitter jail because I tweeted some no-name actor.
Wow.
Yeah.
I knew who he was. Don't you call Nick Searcy a no-name?
Relatively.
Right. It wasn't like you were going toe-to-toe with Leslie Jones or Whoopi Goldberg on the subject. All right, so...
I didn't even know who he was, but I looked him up, and apparently he's been in a ton of stuff, so I'm like, oh.
Good for him. He's working.
Yeah. I threatened this guy's life, then Googled him to see who he was.
He's got to take care of those biracial kids, They got to have a good life, so their dad needs to work.
Oh, man.
Well, they're adopted, so,
He's still got to take care of them.
Even better. Yeah, they're not really his. You can leave them by the wayside. Leave them in a basket outside a church.
He spent thousands of dollars to adopt those kids, so...
Right.
And you seem to have a problem with that?
I think it's a good thing, but don't put them into an argument on Twitter because you're wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
use your kids,
I'm completely lost as to who's right and who's wrong in this whole
Well,
thing.
he totally did. He pulled the "I have a black friend" move.
Yeah.
That's the classic move. Well, I can say this isn't racist because I have a black friend.
Well, having black kids is different than having a black friend, though. You don't have to spend any time with your black friend. You got to spend time with your kids.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. If I had black stepkids, I would not tell people how much I paid for it. That seems like a bad idea. Hey, we got to do a new YouTube thing.
No.
Yeah,
no.
just do it.
No.
Just do it. No. Just say subscribe and share. So you were at work today, but Alan and I got to go and try out the new beer.
Oh, yeah, but I'm actually glad I didn't taste it yet. I want the surprise because, one...
We didn't get the finished product. We had what's called a fermenter pull, so it's not quite there yet, and it doesn't have carbonation, but it was really cool, and it's pretty good.
So at what stage did you taste it? Like, what still needs to be added?
It's got to stay, like, in the
jug or whatever, the barrel, for a couple more days.
Describing it so well.
Yeah, I know, right? I know my stuff. I know my beers. And it is an ale, by the way. It's called unmitigated ale. It's a rice ale. I said it was a lager. It's not a lager. It is a rice ale. So people can calm their tits.
I wish we have a can. Like, I wish we could get our own can.
That would be amazing. But,
I know. We're asking too much. It was already enough to get our own beer. But yeah.
But it's really good. It's like a very drinkable but flavorful beer. Like, it's not like drinking a Bud Light. Like, it tastes good from what I had, and it's going to get a little bit more, like, hoppy as it ages. And
did you taste it and we were like, the unmitigated gall of this ale?
It was really good. Like, I chugged it. Like, it was easy to drink.
I'm excited now, so I get first dibs when we do get them in here, or when we are at the comedy show.
Yeah.
So thanks to Great Lakes. By the way, I was waiting till we're on air to see this, to say this. I like the floral pattern in your shirt. What are those little leaves?
I don't know. It's a shirt from Target, and just just trying to step up my game a little bit lately. Just trying to get a little nicer dressed in and stuff. But mostly it's because it was cold today. So
it was.
I went outside and I was just wearing a t-shirt and I'm like, what the hell?
I was like,
it's May 11th and I'm cold and it's like coat jacket weather.
It's gonna
garbage.
Be May. Yeah.
But here's what I want to talk about. What are those people that like know beer and stuff like that? What would you say is your one specialty? Like, what can you talk about and get like nerd deep on it, the way that some people get with like beer? Not dick pics, please.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say the pics, but
right. Like something.
My one nerdy detail. I have to think about it. You go first.
Okay, mine is definitely comedy because I have lived stand-up comedy for the past. I've been doing 14 years now. I've been to a billion shows. I listen to podcasts about it. I go to shows all the time. I watch comedy specials at least once a week or so. And it's just one of those things that I love talking about the art of it. I love when I'm backstage with another comic and we get to shoot the shrimp about things that, are pet peeves, the things that we love, like working on a bit, sculpting, material, all that stuff. Like that is where I go and get real nerdy real fast. And I know because of girlfriends and my ex-wife, like when I get into those conversations, they just like roll their eyes and be like, oh my God, he's going to do his comedy dissertation right now with this. But the other comics are just as into it. Like that's like a bonding moment when you get into like deep comedy talk.
I think mine would probably be, and this may be cliche, and after I say this, people are probably going to roll their eyes, but like pop culture, like celebrity culture, I am a big vault of useless information. What you guys would claim is useless. I mean, we do a rock show on a rock station.
We're on a rock station, but we talk about pop culture a lot.
I know, but a lot of things that Alan's not really interested in, and that's fine. But
I actually have good things to say.
And I'm just gonna say, when it comes to like rap beef or like pop beef, I like to be in people's business. Like I love to see what celebrity culture is like because it's a life that one I can't relate to, and I don't think I could ever understand. I would love to be on a fly on the wall in some of these like conference rooms when these meetings go down, or like when all these the fights break out at VMAs and stuff. I would love that stuff. I do love the background of that.
Well, one thing that you've gotten me more into is like I don't like Wendy Williams. We've talked about that ad nauseum, but The Breakfast Club, Charlamagne Tha God, like that's.
You watch those?
I watch it from time to time. I'm not like a religious viewer, but there's some interesting interviews on there, and that dude is very good. Like I really appreciate the way he interviews people because
it's a conversation. It's not necessarily an interview.
Yeah, it's a conversation, and there's times when he's got like gotcha questions, but they're not even like I've been waiting all the time. He's asking the questions that people want to know about, and he doesn't let people off the hook. And I really, he does great interviews, and I never feel like he's doing it just to like it comes across very authentic when he does it. He's not just trying to be like, oh, so you don't like this? Well, let me, he's not trying to catch people off guard.
Yeah, I like the
fact he lets it happen organically.
I like the fact that, these people are
Tire dealer to receive up to $70 back on tires like Michelin and BF Goodrich.
After you're done asking Alexa to do all that weird shit.
I'm sorry, I can't help you with that.
Well, What if I gave you $20?
No.
Ask her to play WMMS on iHeartRadio.
It's time to give stuff away. It's time to give stuff away.
All right, get the last pair of tickets this week for the Resurrection Tour. It is Thursday, August the 16th at the Akron Civic Theater with Puddle of Mud, Saliva, Soil, Tantric, and Shallow Side all coming back to entertain you. AkronCivic.com's got the info. A couple of tickets here for you if you're a caller 13. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
We've all got something inside of us that makes us unique. Just make sure it doesn't get stuck there. The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
What did I miss? Comedian Kevin Bozeman is back in Cleveland to do hilarities this weekend. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I feel like we
sir.
just saw you. And that's not a complaint.
No, I was here and I was here in January.
And here you are again.
Things happen, man.
Yeah,
and it was
I know.
Easy. It was easy to accept this gig because it's Father's Day and Father's Day week. I want to know part
Kids,
of that.
I got to pay for things, all right? Daddy has to do this.
I want to know part of that.
Yeah.
Father's Day is probably just above Sweetest Day for celebrating individuals.
Because it's all about Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is.
Mother's Day is an actual
Mother's
holiday.
Day is a real. It's a real day. Like that's
Right.
a Father's Day. Like one year, my son, they replaced one of my bits for my screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dad, we know that you lost. We lost one of your bits for your screwdriver.
Like
Happy
it was a
Father's
dog
Day.
or something.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, if that's how you do it, then make sure I lose my car next year.
Yeah. We all chipped in, and this is what we came up with.
We all cooked in.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, they don't know what to, you don't know what to do for Father's Day.
Why do
right?
you think that is? I mean, you would think that in an age where people are constantly lamenting fathers not being around, you would think that the guys who are around and there, they would be revered at this point.
Would get something. But
yes.
But I think if so I make it hard for my kids because I'm trying to teach them not to be so materialistic. So
Okay.
I got rid of like a bunch of my sneaks and everything. I had like nice Jordans, got rid of all of that, stopped buying clothes and everything because all they do is just they feel like they gotta have everything that comes out brand new. And I'm like,
Right.
dude, you don't.
And how
That's
old
not
are they?
gonna make you 15 and 13.
That's that age.
But it's
The
also
ages
that
of pure evil.
But it's also that age where you can't tell them necessarily go get a job and earn your own money. They're
Right.
just on the cusp of not being able to work.
Right.
So they go, hey, you got to buy for me.
It's true. And my kids, I make them I don't let them work because I make them work out for basketball.
Okay.
I'm that too.
You got a plan.
That's how you're going to pay for school.
Here's my thing. If you want
Big Bozeman brand.
If you want to play Park District, and just play, and I got to write a $25 check, you can do whatever you want.
Right.
But when we start doing like AAU, and I writing out $1,000 checks for you to play, and then now you owe me an effort.
Right.
So there's no longer. Now I'm thinking our focus on is to get you a college scholarship. So no working at your local pizza joint.
Okay.
Because that's time you could be. Because I'm writing out
You're not getting
$1,000 checks.
You're not getting the pizza scholarship.
Right. You're not.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
But that's a good investment if it gets them a college scholarship.
Right. If it gets them a scholarship, or at the least put that effort in. You can, even if they don't get a scholarship, like
They
the
learn how to
development
work.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like in the end, there's no real loss.
Right.
There's only a significant win or a small win. Either way, there's no real loss. But I am not letting them not work out. I make them.
You're not letting them squander whatever
No.
talent they've got. Because
Whatever,
you
yeah.
played ball in college.
A little bit.
Well, can they appreciate where you're coming from? I mean, does it seem like work to them when you go hit the court and
No,
do this
they
again, or
can't-
are they happy to do that?
You know why they can't appreciate? Because right now, American families are being attacked and American families are being attacked by this video game called Fortnite.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know.
Yeah. My kids play Fortnite.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but Fortnite's goal is to single-handedly dismantle. It is like Trump's immigration plan. It is meant to separate.
It's splitting families up.
It is splitting.
It's an epidemic.
Dude, it is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. The conversations that I hear my kids have with like their friends when they're playing games. Like one son was like just lost it on it. He's like, why would you do that? He goes, if you're going to continue to do stuff like that, I can't see why we would be friends anymore. Right. I was like, dude, you're 13. It's Fortnite. Like, it's that game. So I cut it down. During the school year, they can't play it at all, and then on the weekends they get 2 hours a day, and they feel like I'm just a monster.
Like they're in prison or something.
Like I'm just.
The most amazing thing to me about Fortnite is not so much that all the kids are playing it, is that it's so pervasive that the parents now talk about it like, well, they love murdering everybody. It's just these normal conversations that parents have, like, because they kind of throw their hands up or whatever, and they go, but it's a game where you have to murder everybody before the thing closes in or whatever. I mean, that's kind of the top line description.
Is learning how to get rid of us. Like, they're teaching things. There are rations and everything. Like, all of these, getting these different weapons and sneaking up. Like, I keep lights on in my house. I don't.
It's like the opposite of what a dad's supposed to be. You're supposed to be trying to save electricity. Turn those lights off, and now it's changing around.
I'm worried. Like these kids are just so yeah. I had to stop that, but then if you're gonna be that kind of parent, you got to keep them active. So like I set up training and stuff with them for sports and everything, and keep them busy.
Is Fortnite a reward to any degree? Is it like if you do X, Y, and Z, you get an extra 15 minutes of
No. 2 hours.
Gotcha. Max.
And just on the weekends.
And now in the summer I made it lax, but it's after they got done. You don't wake up and play Fortnite.
No.
You get done everything that I'm asking you to do. I sound like a very strict bad dude, but you got
to have a regiment.
With the camera. Look at my smile. I'm harmless. I am harmless.
You're on this one. You're calling the shots, though, in your own house, which is what you're supposed to do.
Right. And you know what I get? A drill bit for Father's Day.
Right.
So that's why I was like, Cleveland, here I come. And you guys the city can use a little.
Oh yeah, we're a little down right now.
A little pick it up, right?
Yeah.
Especially come back in middle of July after decisions are made.
Decision 3.
Yeah.
I think
we're in kind of a bit of limbo this month.
I think he should go to the Bulls. Listen, you guys had enough.
It's because you're from Chicago.
You guys had enough.
That's my team too.
Share him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
share his greatness.
He's not going to go to the Bulls though.
Listen,
but look what happened when Dwayne Wade went to the Bulls.
Not a facilitator. Is he not known for making people better? He should make cities better. Just start going around from city.
People are leaving Chicago.
You know how much worse Cleveland's going to get when he leaves?
He should keep making us better.
He is the economy.
But that's because Cleveland, and this is not a knock, but it's just reality. It's hard to build a team around him, which is why every time he leaves, teams just because they become so reliant on him. He's like crack. Right? You can't just take crack out of a person's life and not replace it.
Or Fortnite. He's the Fortnite of Cleveland Cavaliers.
He's the Fortnite
of basketball,
just take Fortnite out of...
Right.
So
could we do something like a ration thing where we share him? He plays a little bit for the Bulls. He'll play like 40 games for the Bulls and 40 games for the Cavs.
As long as we get him for the playoffs.
Yeah. Whichever team has a better record at the end of the season, that's who gets them in the playoffs.
yes, for sure. Yeah, you got to max out on him.
I mean, Bulls, it would be the same thing, though. They'd be building a team around him there.
No, but he already has. No. It's true. It's true. But that team is already built for him to go in because they're younger dudes. They got guys that can shoot.
Yeah, you guys just have have a different version of Kevin Love and Lauri Markkanen.
Lauri Markkanen can shoot, except for Lauri Markkanen can put the ball down on a. He can create his own shot a little bit.
Kevin Love can put the ball down. It just doesn't come back up.
Kevin Love is a better post player than Lauri Markkanen. Either way, it's potato. Listen, you guys had your shot. That's all I'm saying.
We got one.
You didn't win.
We got one.
Come to Chicago.
We got one.
That's all.
That's all we
Isn't
needed.
that all really Cleveland needs? is
Well, and
one-
Chicago had a lot back in the day too.
Yeah,
so
isn't Cleveland? You guys got one.
That's
You
why
still-
this
you got
year
a
was
great
okay.
baseball team.
Yeah.
Who's gonna find a way to break your hearts? Sorry, come see the hilarities. But listen,
You're gonna be so popular.
when everyone knows this, like I'm a fan of Cleveland. Like this is. I took my family here to vacation in Cleveland 2 years ago.
That's
We
crazy.
went to Cleveland Indians game. We
Rock
went
Hall,
to the
Aquarium.
Canton Hall of
Yeah.
Fame. I took them out for chocolate martinis. Not the kids.
Oh yeah, you famously love chocolate bar.
Oh yeah.
Sam talks about that all the time.
I
At the
can't.
club, they're talking about where's Kevin? Oh, he's at chocolate bar.
Across
He's
the
over
street.
at chocolate
Dude,
bar.
I can't get enough. It's pure chocolate spun into wholesome, angelic deliciousness.
Yeah, it's pretty
you know,
good.
Like most chocolate martinis, they just squirt a little Hershey syrup in there and
Yeah.
add some Kahlua, and then you're like, all right, I guess. I guess. This
Chocolate bar, it's
This
like-
is your chocolate martini, I guess. But chocolate, you see that machine just spinning.
It's like drinking brownie batter. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's a real deal.
It's amazing.
I wonder though what happened. But when LeBron came back and made a big deal about it, and obviously there was a lot of emotion, and he's coming back home, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But he said, "I want to retire in this city."
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did.
At
In that
one
letter.
point,
and I
yeah.
wonder what changed.
At one
I
point,
don't
yeah.
remember that.
I wonder
See,
what
you guys
changed.
hold on to
Yeah.
that. That's like when you were talking about. Sorry to interrupt, but that's like when you guys were talking about the segment earlier about the like manipulation and
Yeah.
words and
Emotional
relationships.
Oh, yes.
Emotional
You know what?
That you create that. That's what LeBron has
That is
created for
that
you
is
guys.
exactly right. Now I understand all
right. You
those
guys,
women.
right? Like all yeah.
We have a
yeah.
codependent relationship with him.
Oh,
Yeah, it only takes it literally can take, depending on how intense it is. Don't ask me how I know these things. It literally can take 3 to 5 months to make someone like your slave.
Yeah.
Like you make them do whatever you want to do. It takes
That's what R. Kelly says.
Right. It takes a lot of manipulation and undermining and stripping away a person's confidence,
Yeah.
but it can be done.
The end game to me, though, always seems like it would be a lot of work for very little payoff. Because let's say you go through all that, right? Now, I'm not wired that way, so I've never had the Svengali-like hold over anybody to get them to do that. But guys who do that with girls,
Yeah.
the end result is you end up with a person who you have made who you don't want to be with anymore. You're like, I don't like this, but you turned them into that.
That's you talking. Those people get
They
off
love
on
it.
stuff like that. They get off on
Really?
that power. There's a dysfunction in their life that creates.
Again, I'm
people.
not going to ask you how you know all this.
Listen,
I'll take.
We can talk about it. We can talk about it in the middle of my set. We talked about it. Hilarities this weekend. But yeah, it's a dysfunction that they have. So it's not. You're thinking
not
on
rational.
your wavelength.
Yeah.
But that's not a rational train of thought that those people have.
Okay.
They're looking like, look what I created.
But can
Look at
you
this.
say you've never been someone's slave? You've never been some young lady's slave back in the day.
No, I mean, wait, hold on. What's the question again? I've never.
Have you had this happen?
I've
Yeah.
never been, but I've been enraptured by people, and I've let them do things. And get away with
things you wouldn't normally agree to.
but to a certain extent,
Right.
Like a couple of weeks, I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Right,
Wait,
you're not
what
in a
happened?
cult or anything.
Yeah,
You're-
what do you mean? What do you mean I can't eat McRibs anymore?
They're only around once a year. I mean,
Who knew that was like the magic spell to break me? It was the McRib that saved me. When she's cut me off of McRibs, I was like, I can't do
That's
this.
too much.
She had me sleeping in a cage. I did not mind that.
The
It was-
cage, fine.
it was McRibs.
We got issues.
Now
McRibs
we
are your
gotta
real Father's Day. That's
Yeah, give me a McRib. Drive around, find out the few places that's left. Like, because, they still come out. They come out randomly, but some places have, like, I'll go drive in Indiana or something and see that they'll have a McRib, and there'll be no other place of McRibs. It's almost like they're in a McDonald's warehouse and someone's like, we just found 8 more boxes of McRibs.
They just sent them out.
Like the end
get
of
'em out.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
What's the expiration date? 1984. Still good. We're still good.
We can microwave them; they'll be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, it's a real attachment issue. But I didn't know he said he wanted to retire here. I didn't know that.
And he may
You guys-
still retire
you guys-
here and go play somewhere else for a little while.
Yeah, because they always
he
had
got
that-
us on a technicality.
Yeah.
When he retires from basketball, he'll come back here
Here's
and
the thing.
retire.
Let me ask you this, because I'm a huge sports fan, and I generally catch when people say milestones like that.
Yeah.
Because I knew that he wasn't necessarily stay because of the specific contracts that he signed. Like, if you want to stay and you saying that you're gonna sign, you're signing these deals, but he kept doing these 1 years and 2 years, giving himself flexibility.
Room.
Also knowing that the market was going to change. So
Yep.
he also knew, why would I sign a long contract if the NBA is going to be making more money? I can make more money. But
Right.
I got the feeling, could always renegotiate his contract.
Yeah, he's
anyway.
like the guy.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying this. I'm just tossing it out there to you, the fans, your listeners. Is it possible that he really didn't say that and you guys are just all psychopaths? And
It's the Mandela effect. You're imagining something that never happened.
something that you wanted him to say,
Yeah.
but he didn't actually say.
I'm pretty sure that was in
I don't
there.
know if he
Throw that out
actually.
there to your listeners. Are you guys all just lunatics?
Yeah.
And he really didn't
Could be.
say that.
I don't
and
know
you
that he
thought-
did say that. I think he said something along those lines, or like something about how he's happy to be back. Like he said something.
Someone pull up that letter.
Yeah, we'll have to pull up the letter in the break and look through it, because I don't know if he actually went as far as saying, I want to finish my career here.
Oh,
Or he
look
might
at
have said
that.
it in
Look at that. A dent in your armor.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
in Allen's sports knowledge armor? What?
Yeah. I don't, it's made of bubble wrap,
Yeah.
so yeah. All right, fine.
Alan, why don't you tell Kevin your top 5 NBA players?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Oh,
Of all
God.
time.
Well,
Go.
listen, explain what that was, Bill. I mean,
Well-
because I just took your thing and ran with it.
Yahoo Sports tweeted out a thing like, tell everybody you get one player for each position. Who are your 5 NBA players, best favorite of all time? Not best, but favorite.
Your favorite.
Favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And one player each position.
Yeah, so mine was for centers, Zadrunas, power forward, Tim Duncan, LeBron, Jordan, and Steve Nash. Those were my 5.
Okay.
So that's mine. But
I
then-
had good ones. I
Yeah.
had Calvin Booth and Harrison Barnes, and I had Chandler Parsons, Brandon Knight. I had
Harrison Barnes. Yeah, Harrison Barnes lost to LeBron, so he's going to be your favorite player. I bet you wish that Golden State kept Harrison Barnes.
I had good players, what do you want?
That's interesting. Yours?
Oh God, I don't even know. But I would think of like all time for me has got to be like a lot of the guys from the three-peat Bulls, like Kukoc, Kerr.
Yeah, but you gotta go
even Rodman.
You gotta go by position and stuff too, though. So
Yeah, but I guess I don't really know everybody's position.
Yeah.
There's Kyrie. He's a forward.
I
He's
right?
a point guard.
Oh, point guard.
Man, I haven't really thought about that. That's interesting. I would think it'd be Jordan, Pippen, Garnett would be 3. My
Pippin's
two
a good
guard-
choice.
My 2 guards, just favorites, not
Yeah.
Jesus. Scottie Pippen is not better than Larry Bird or Michael Jordan.
Right, right.
I mean, or Larry Bird or LeBron James.
Right.
But my favorites is Jordan at 2, Pippen at the small forward, and Garnett. at
Garnett
the
almost
power
made
forward.
mine. Garnett almost made mine. I just like Tim Duncan
But then
a lot.
Yeah, of course.
I think I'm going to change 2 of
The
mine.
beauty of this is it's just your favorite player.
Right,
You can't
right.
argue.
Yeah.
Like you can say Calvin Booth, and it's like,
That's right. Who's going to
your guy.
argue? You going to argue with me?
That's your guy.
I'm changing 2 of my picks. I'm going with Kevin McHale and
That's your
Meadowlark
guy.
Lemon.
6-man Rodney Hood, but only game 4.
That's what I'm going with.
Finals Rodney
Yeah.
Hood. That's my favorite.
That's your favorite small forward.
ML card.
Who's your point guard? Who's your center?
Yeah, I would have to think about that. I've never really thought about players and as favorites and positions. Gosh, I mean, maybe I didn't really like Magic. I didn't appreciate Magic until he was close to being gone. So I can't, because I was Larry Bird Celtics fan at the time. So obviously I wasn't. I don't know.
I can see
Iverson?
this is weighing on you.
Iverson.
Ooh, I love Iverson.
Iverson in his prime.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're all in their prime.
there
Yeah.
you
Now I
go.
got to redo
Here
my
you
whole
go.
list.
Yeah.
I got to redo my whole
Iverson
list.
Would be my point, and then my center, my 5. Oh,
What about Goose Tatum and Curly Neal? Are they in there?
Harlem Globetrotter players. They were interchangeable, really.
Come on. Okay. Not Tyler Iceman Inman? Come on.
Oh, listen to you. Look at you.
I know.
Where do you? what do you do? Like, what do you watch when you're?
I
'cause
have.
You don't seem like you watch the same basketball that everyone else.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't watch it
know.
really at all.
My
Everyone
brain is
else
just a
does,
cesspool of worthless information. That's all.
Maybe Shaq for his entertainment value.
Okay.
Yeah, Shaq was close to mine.
Sure.
Shaq-
David Robinson too.
David Robinson. Wow, I forgot
Hakeem
about that
Olajuwon.
guy.
Oh, Hakeem, yeah.
Hakeem,
The
okay.
drink.
Hardaway.
He's in the center.
What about Muggsy Bogues?
Point guard?
Okay.
But I like Hakeem Olajuwon because I remember like when Jordan retired, everybody was talking like, oh, who's the best? It was like Hakeem, David Robinson, Ewing, and Shaq. And then after those 2 years, we were like, why were we even discussing this? Hakeem was like way better than
all those
of
guys.
them.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't even a thing. And he got to play all of them in the playoffs in those 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like
dominated them.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the one, if you want to hear one knock that I would give to your fans, because I know it's Cleveland, and trust me, I love LeBron. I love him. But the one knock that I have for LeBron,
along with all the other knocks that you had earlier.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I said, look, I want him to come to Chicago. I said it's hard to build a team around, but that's not a knock. That's on the organization, right? He and Kobe never got to go against each other. They were the two best players. But throughout the history of the NBA, we were always able to settle arguments. Because even like, who's better, Jordan or Drexler? We're like Jordan and Drexler. Jordan and Barkley, Magic and Bird, Doc and Bird. Like, we never saw the two best players when they were the best players in the league and had the best teams, and them go up against each other.
I'm going to solve your problem, because LeBron's going to go to the Lakers, is the rumor. We bring Kobe out of retirement, put him on the Cavs.
He's not going to the Lakers. I think he should stay in Cleveland.
He might. We don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
He might.
I got a feeling. I think
he might go to the Lakers.
I think he'll go to before.
They're moving the Lakers back to Salt Lake City, and then he's going to join the Lakers.
His son enrolled in school in LA.
I think he's going to go to the Clippers before he goes to the Lakers.
That was false. It didn't happen.
Clippers.
You heard it here. You
All right.
heard it here first.
You heard it from Kevin Bozeman.
When that happens, I'm just saying. I'm
going to buy you a new drill bit when that happens.
Take me to the Golden Corral. At least try to kill me in front of my face.
Yeah.
Get him a McRib.
A McRib.
Let's have a Fortnite tournament.
We will. You'll be on my team. All right. It's always good to see you, buddy. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having
absolutely.
me.
Kevin Bozeman is at Hilarities all this weekend. The show tonight's at 7:30 and 10 o'clock, 7 and 9:30 tomorrow night, and then 7 o'clock on Sunday.
On Father's Day.
Father's Day. Go see him and hand him a drill bit if you want, and kevinbozeman.com online. All right, we'll take a break. Be back after these.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Siding in the DMs. So, Squire, got Pound Cake over here. You ever get stuck in, like, thought loops? Like, unhealthy ones?
I'm the one that daydreams, like...
That is a good point.
Like, what do you mean? I talk to myself. I live out, like, my dream. I'm just like, if Dream Boy says, hey, would you like to go to Paris? In my head, I think I'm saying, yes, I would love to go to Paris. But outside in my head, I'm saying, why, certainly, I would love to go to Paris. Oh, my God. And I'm just...
And you're saying that outside. But I'm talking about more like obsessing on like a certain thing, stalking people. I've been trying to help some people and even myself get out of some bad habits because I think a lot of people like for me, something that I do is I'm an all or nothing guy. So like
you're either all in or you're all out.
Yeah. So like with exercise, I'm either gung ho, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be exercising, or I don't. And if I don't, I'm just not. I'm like, man, fucking who cares? If I'm not exercising, why? Same with like my diet. My diet's either all in or all out. There's like not really an in between. And I think also people get into this where they're obsessed over an ex or they're obsessed over things that they can't control. And do you ever get into that?
Yeah, all the time. But I have to.
I mean, especially because you always talk about how you're always thinking about the future instead of being in the present.
I run myself crazy, like, in all honesty. I mean, things that I cannot control, like, that's one of the hardest, but it just comes with time, because it's like, there's nothing you can do about it. It's almost freeing in a way, because...
So what do you do to overcome that? Do you think you have overcome that a little bit?
Yes, you literally just have to train yourself to say it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like things that like me working 3 jobs can take a strain on you. I'm like, damn, like if I had a little bit of cushion, a little bit something to lay back on, maybe these bills wouldn't like pile up so much.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I had a relationship with my father, and like I always think of these scenarios like, well, if my dad were here, I would be a lot better off. I'm like, but he's not. So why dwell on that? You're
Right.
going to drive yourself nuts. So it literally comes with, it is what it is. And the best way I could say is just take it day by day. Because if you think in the end game, you're just going to, overwhelm yourself.
Right, and I agree that you gotta take it day by day. But if you also have a plan to structure your life so that those things don't become so overwhelming,
You can, but I'm saying you cannot
you
plan
can't
it out
predict-
to the teeth.
You
Because life will happen.
can, but you can also plan it out to a certain degree where you're going to have all your bills paid. You're going to live within your means. You're going to live beneath your means so that you can have a little cushion and be ready for when that unexpected thing happens where you have to spend a little money that you didn't think you were going
But
to
the
have to
best
spend.
way to do that is to save day by day, like
Right.
where you're not saying, oh, this is my budget for the week. You could say, how about my budget for the day?
Absolutely.
Then by the time it ends, you're like, whoa, I had more money than I thought I would because I saved daily instead of saved weekly.
Well, yeah, and that's
because you don't know what's going to come up.
Right, and that's I know that's a huge thing for you, and that's a huge thing for a lot of people is getting onto a budget and sticking with it and being able to stay within that, and it reduces a lot of stress. And I was listening to another podcast, and a guy was talking about playing in the NFL, and he's talking about how stressed out he was every single practice. He treated every practice so seriously that he was just out of his mind, like thought he was going to die because he was so focused on his goal and didn't want to mess anything up and didn't want to get anything wrong. And I tweeted at him and I asked if he thinks that helped him or hurt him, and he says that it helped him, but I honestly think that if he had been a little less stressed out, he might have played better because he was playing more loose.
And like this is like my whole thing is I plan for my luck. I assume worst case scenario all the time. Anyone who knows me knows I plan for worst case scenario. Like whenever I go somewhere, I'm planning, okay, so if some guns break out, I'm gonna take it out that door. Like I already have my escape route planned. And so
I love how ridiculous the scenarios are too.
It's crazy, but like
All
you
right,
never know what can happen.
If a gunman comes into what's your plan in this room? How are you gonna deal with him in this room?
That's easy. I trip you and he takes you instead of me.
But I'm talking about like this. I'm in here for 5 to 6 minutes a day. If you're in here and a gunman comes in here, I'm probably not going to be in here, because obviously I'm a hero. I'll save your life. I'll protect you. I'll I'm that good of a person. But chances are you're going to be in here by yourself, and I'm the furthest away. Like I'm like. So how are you going to get out of that situation?
Well, this room is only big. There's not a couple there's not a couple exits. So I just duck down. I put it like a old lock-in thing where you go underneath the desk and try and hide and pretend like you're not in there. Like that's pretty much what I do.
Okay.
But like I know my luck. So when I talk about money and shit, I'm like, okay, well I know that eventually my car's gonna go down, someone's gonna need some money, an emergency's gonna happen, so I try to plan for $1,000 more than what I normally would have.
Yeah, you need that
because
cushion,
I know, and like I'm not even like a saving type of guy, but I know my luck. I know it's not gonna go to waste. I know in a couple of days here, something about I'm waiting for the piano to fall, and that's a bad way to look at it, look at stuff. But life happens.
But you have to be prepared for that, and I think if you are prepared for that, then it relieves some of that
It hurts
stress.
a little less. Like
Yeah.
there's a guy that used to come into the comedy cabin all the time, and he was just like, I'm real happy right now, but I don't want to say I'm happy because I know the moment I say I'm happy, something bad's gonna happen. I was like, you shouldn't say that.
That's a tough way to live.
Literally, the next week I saw him, he was just like, I'm not happy anymore. I was like, oh, so you're right. He was like, yeah, but he knows his life. He knows his plan.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome to Side in the DMs. I'm Bill Squire.
I'm Pound Cake.
Yes, you are. You are so pound cake. I'm so proud of you for that. I'm in a weird mood today.
I'm in a weird mood too.
I'm not like in a bad mood. I'm just like weird. Like I just wrote a bio for the Accidental Comedy Fest. Well, I included that I had to write my own bio in it, but I wrote it in third person. But it's kind of got like this bitter twinge to it. Like I thought I'd be further along by now when I have to write my own bio, but whatever. Anyway, like that's kind of.
You didn't just copy and paste it from the radio show?
Nah, I wanted to have fun with it. It was funny, but it's it's got a twinge of bitterness mixed with humor, which
a twinge.
Yeah, twinge, just like a little speckling of bitterness. Just so you know it's there, but it's not overwhelming.
I know I had to write my bio for the drag show, and I was just like everything that glitters that isn't gold because I probably can't afford it. Just a little drag humor in there. Drags love a kiki.
Oh yes. So how you doing, man? We haven't decided in the DMs in a minute, and I feel like I don't get my one-on-one time with you.
I'm fine. I was just discussing this with a friend of mine earlier today. Why do creatures always slide in my DMs? It's never anybody remotely cute. It's never anybody I would even think about sharing a drink with. And those are always the ones I'm like, am I just not, like, am I approachable to ugly people and hot people are just like, either he's on the same level with me or I'm a lot hotter than him, so I don't even want to bother with him at all? Because I never get anybody remotely close to anybody I would consider
for their injured clients. Call 1-800-ELK Ohio. Accident spot popping up 271 southbound past Chagrin. It's in the right-hand berm. You've got slowdowns southbound from Richmond down to Rockside. 40 westbound is stop and go Warrensville Center over to Lee, and 40 eastbound slow Lee to Warrensville. I'm Faith in the Traffic Center.
This report is brought to you by Perfect Power Wash.
Dirt, grime, mold, mildew. No problem. Perfect Power Wash. Take your weekend back and let Perfect Power Wash restore the beauty of your house, roof, or driveway. It's about time your home had a Perfect Power Wash. Go to perfectpowerwash.com.
From the Final Touch Construction Studios, this is the 50th anniversary of WMMS Buzzard Radio, an iHeart radio station. Ask Alexa to play WMMS on iHeartRadio.
Now back to the Alan Cox Show.
216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007. You want to call? I'm going to text 35192. AlanCoxShow.com. Everything else, the live streams there, chat room that goes along with that. If you want to hop in there, if you listen to the show on iTunes, you can rate the show. Can you rate the show on iHeartRadio? Do they have any kind of rating system there or no?
I don't think so. I think rating it is listening.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
iTunes doesn't work the same way when you listen to something that's not a rating?
No, you have to, like, you can give it 5 stars.
That's what I mean. You can't do that on iHeartRadio?
I don't know.
I think so.
Thumbs up or something? I don't know.
I know you can thumbs up, thumbs down in the music, and then that kind of changes your playlist or whatever.
Let's take a look-see. I can use iHeartRadio on my desktop computer.
If you listen from out of state on the app, let me know where you are. Joey is a new bureau chief in Dundee, Michigan. Jim is in Kapa'a, Hawaii. It is Hawaii, right? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Hawaii. Brian is in Collierville, Tennessee. Sean is in Mount Carmel, PA. Find a weird one. Andrew is in a place called Detroit. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
I think it's
Detroit.
Detroit.
Alan.
What?
Did you see the meme of, it was like, why we can't have shrimp in Detroit? Because someone stole this guy's porch.
No.
He was like, man, you can't have shrimp in Detroit. Someone literally, he woke up.
I thought you were talking about actual shrimp. I'm like, why can't they have
We're censoring.
delicious seafood?
Yeah,
no, this guy he said, I walked out of my front door and I fell to the ground.
Porch.
I was dead. I was like, y'all stealing porches now?
Well, I'll tell you the guy who's mad, the guy who, every city has them now. Cleveland has them, Chicago has them. But the insert your city here versus everyone t-shirts started in Detroit. Detroit versus everyone was that, and the guy that started that is none too pleased about all these other t-shirt companies taking that phrase and using it for whatever.
He should have patented it.
Well, or trademarked it or something. Yeah, I don't know that I don't know. You can trademark something, but if you don't have the money to go to court against people who violate the trademark, it doesn't really do you much good. So I don't know.
It's easier to trademark a logo too than it is just like
words,
like a phrase or
right?
something.
And that's how a lot of people get around that.
You get an agent though that does that for you. Like
those cost money. That's what I'm saying. I mean, and if you start something in your garage, and it takes off locally or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you can do like a licensing fee, then you send the cease and desist, and they go, but for this percentage of your sales.
Right.
You can keep using it.
I think for a lot of people who do that kind of thing, T-shirts, I think there's some degree, at least starting out, there seems to be some kind of degree of maybe camaraderie. But then if something unexpectedly blows up, it might Polk, Mr. Factory of Sadness.
Factory of Sadness
and then all these other people
everywhere.
are making Factory of Sadness shirts, but that was his thing. And, he's too much of a mensch to really put up a stink. But if I were him, I would have.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too. People hear a phrase like Cleveland or nowhere. LeBron said that, and then it's a shirt,
Boy, that's going to bite him in the ass.
Well, yeah.
That's not going to age very well.
That's going to be a lot harder on Los Angeles to change their city name to Nowhere.
Nowhere. Yeah.
I just remember when
Nowhere Lakers.
I remember when he was like, well, if you're not from Cleveland right now or rooting for Cleveland, then you pretty much shouldn't, there's no reason for you to live right now. I'm like, well,
yeah,
damn.
that was a quote.
I was like, let it rip, LeBron. Tell him how you really feel. Get him. But now he'll be somewhere else.
Or
unless he's not.
Or not. We don't know anything.
Think positively.
That's right. We don't know anything. Hey, that FBI agent who was dancing and dropped it like it was hot, and then his service revolver shot a guy in the bar. He turned himself into the cops. He's awaiting the...
Yeah, they charge him with assault or something, right?
29-year-old Chase Bishop, which... Listen, whatever you think about the story, it's a great name for an FBI agent.
Or is that his FBI name?
That's a TV FBI agent name.
Yeah, it's like Burt Macklin and Chase Bishop on the case.
There you go. He was showing off his moves at the Mile High Spirits Bar in Denver. He went into a back handspring, and his firearm fell out of his waistband and onto the floor. It amazingly did not go off until he, a law enforcement official and sensible gun owner, went to go grab it, and then he fired a round. Shot a guy in the leg who the bar has, they said that the bullet hit, what's that artery in your leg?
Femoral?
The femoral artery.
Oh, it did. So that's a serious thing.
They said that he could have bled to death if not for a person next to him who put a tourniquet on his leg.
Amazing.
That he could have died from
I
this.
would sue he would have nothing left. His whole family, his like everything he would have, I would take. I would sue him that much.
Well, I think they're probably making some moves to try to ward off a lawsuit because the bar said that the guy who was shot is welcome to complimentary drinks forever at their bar.
Wow. That should really settle things.
Oh, boy.
Please tell me the song that was playing was Pop, Lock, and Drop It.
I don't know what the song was.
Or shot.
Yeah. Everybody!
Yeah. This agent should have taken better care to conceal and secure his weapon, and knowing he was armed, he should have elected to avoid the dance-off, said the local FBI field office.
Avoid the dance-off.
All of the things that you've got to go through to get to the FBI, right? You got to be squeaky, from what I understand, you got to be squeaky clean, right?
And
you go
should
through
have
Quantico,
a respect for your firearm.
the whole thing. I'm sure, listen, that's a beleaguered organization these days, and I'm sure morale might be low, and you blow off some steam, I get it, but everything that you've got to do to get to that point, and you go, I got my gun in my pocket.
Someone challenged me to a dance battle. What can I do?
I got served, bro. What was I supposed to do? Just stand there? Like, I'm an FBI agent. I can't just stand there while I'm getting served.
Getting served.
South Park episode.
Yeah, we know.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
No. I haven't watched. Every time South Park happens to be on television, I go, oh, hey, South Park. It's kind of quaint. Like, I forget it's on television and still...
It's Rot Your Brain television, and I love it.
But it's I still think there's better Rot Your Brain TV than South Park. But, you know,
Practical Jokers is my rum. Like, if that show's on, I watch it. Even if I've seen the episode. It
not
makes
into
me
that
laugh.
show.
It makes me laugh like an idiot.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Family Guy or South Park is
our go-to is Family Guy. I never watched any other cartoons other than Family Guy.
South Park is just literally the gym that does not get old. I can watch every single episode and know what's coming, and it will still be funny.
The what that doesn't get old?
The gym.
The gym.
GEM, gem.
Gem?
Gem.
Are you saying Jim, like the guy named
No,
Jim?
like a gemstone. A gem.
Okay.
GEM
what's a
is what
gemstone?
A gemstone?
Like GYM?
It's GEM.
But you're saying Jim.
But he spelled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're saying Jim. So I was confused until you started spelling it.
He says a lot of things.
I honestly didn't know what he was saying.
A gemstone?
This is part of the 90% you let go, right?
But I wouldn't let it go.
Well, yes.
Well, I'm talking to Alan. He didn't correct me.
I listen. Like I said, I got a life to lead. I
know.
can't
Yeah.
correct every last
I
syntax.
just didn't know what he was saying.
Grammar, yeah.
So who is this Jim Stone? Are you dating him?
No.
Jim Stone.
He's a distant cousin of Rick Rufus Kroll.
I'm Jim Stone, and this is Dirk Bishop or whatever that guy's name was.
Chase Bishop.
Chase
yeah.
Bishop.
Jim Stone. Yeah.
Silly, you know I'm not dating anyone until after Pride.
Was he doing a bit or was that an actual laugh?
No, that was doing a bit.
Oh,
That was
all
fake
right.
laughing.
What? What was that?
Nothing.
Are you okay, Pound Cake?
I'm fine.
All right.
I'm waiting.
All right. You're not going to date anybody till after Pride?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which Pride? Like 25 years from now, 30 years from now?
Toronto Pride.
Toronto Pride. When's that, this coming weekend?
Yeah. The fact that you told us
No,
we
he's
had,
got Columbus this weekend.
yeah, Columbus is this weekend, and then when you told me we had July 20th off, we were going July 21st. So
22nd off. Please be here. July. Wait.
July 19th
July.
and
I'm sorry.
20th,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I was thinking June. Are you know what the Pink Pistols are, Pound Cake? You ever heard of the Pink Pistols?
No.
One of the fastest growing gun clubs in the country. It is an LGBT gun club.
I've heard of this.
Gay people are arming themselves to stay alive because there's such a high rate of violence against LGBTQ people that they're all arming themselves as their constitutional right provides.
And they have like shooting classes and stuff.
They do?
Yeah.
They have military people that show them what's going on. And there's a documentary that's going to be on soon called Gays and Guns.
2017 saw 52 gay hate murders across America. That's one person killed every week because they're gay.
Gays that are armed and trained don't get bashed or worse yet killed.
But now there's a growing legion of gays, lesbians, transgender men and women fighting back.
Want to try it?
I wish they'd stop having Australians narrate things.
Murder.
Really takes me out of it.
There's a murder.
Murder.
Beautiful.
I'm shaky.
Warning.
So how do you feel knowing that this gun that you just instructed me to use is the same kind of gun that killed innocent kids? Because that was the gun that was used in the Parkland shooting. It was an AR-15.
Unfortunately, if people want to kill other people, they're going to find the means to do so.
But wouldn't it make it harder for people to access these kind of guns if there was a ban put on them?
No.
There is no real rational argument against gun control. Guns are meant to kill, they're designed to kill.
I don't want kids in schools to feel threatened when they go to school. I don't want to feel threatened when I go out with my friends.
The Pink Pistols are nicknamed the Gay NRA. And they said gay people are starting to exercise their Second Amendment rights. So if you are, let's say you're a recreational gay basher, you should be careful because you never know who's going to be packing.
Woo!
Why they call it the NR gay? I mean, it's just so much better.
Yeah. Rolls off the tongue better.
Mm-hmm. Pink Pistols.
The NR gay?
Mm-hmm.
They have 45 regional divisions around the United States and 10,000 members on the books. They exist for a very simple reason. Their website says, "We teach queers to shoot." You got to have like a bumper. You got to have a tagline.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's right. Gays that are armed and trained don't get bashed and killed. Well,
I
good for
certainly
them.
do understand the need to be somebody that's maybe in a high risk area to be armed because you may not be able to physically fight somebody, and a lot of times these are people coming up and sucker punching a gay couple or something. I understand that.
One of my favorite videos from this year is a group of like ratchet club girls and like chubby gay guys just beating the crap out of each other in an alley, and it just goes on forever.
I saw this, yeah.
Yeah. I think you might have been the one that showed it to me.
Maybe I did. I think I forwarded it to you.
Because it just keeps going and going, and like it's
So
like
guys against girls?
yeah, but
The
like
girl started it.
The girl started it, and they're like like chubby, out of shape gay guys, and they're just like slapping at these girls. These girls are like taking their shoes off and throwing them at them, and it's ridiculous.
I don't understand it. People underestimate gay guys. They think just because we're sissies, we don't know how to fight. Some of us had to fight our entire lives. Now, I'm not saying.
Well, there's gay shape too. That's a thing.
But I'm saying, but like some
You
of these,
said just because we're sissies that we don't know how to fight. I'm not sure if that's what you meant to say.
I'm sorry, they think that we're sissies. That came
gotcha,
out wrong.
right.
They think we're sissies and we don't know how to fight.
Perceived sissies.
Because sissies don't know how to fight by definition.
They think
That's
we're all
right.
sissies, and a lot of us came from like bad areas or from abused households. So all we know how to do is fight. So
do you know how to fight?
If I had to, yeah, but I would prefer not to.
I don't think so.
But do you know how to fight?
I know how to fight. But why?
You ever lost a fight?
Yeah, of course.
Have you ever been in a fight?
Eric, I told you about my locker room story.
But was that a fight?
I didn't know that was a fight.
It was a fight that ended badly, but yeah, it was a fight. But I've been in maybe like
Your locker room story.
I've been in like 5 in my lifetime.
Okay.
Not very many.
All right.
But I go for, like I said, there's no such thing as a fair fight.
So what's your
I'm
record?
Biting, I'm scratching. I'm hitting people in the balls. Like I'm doing everything. There's no such thing as a fair fight.
I gotcha.
As long as I get you off of me and you walk away, or I go for the.
Plus, you kick them in the balls, you can do some reconnaissance on their crotch while they're down there.
But that's like my past. That's what I've done in the past. I hit people in the balls or like I bite or something like that. Now I would just.
You bite.
No, I
You
would
get close enough to him to bite.
No, I'm grabbing them like in a seductive way because 1, they might like it. 2, I'll get punched out real quick.
Seductive way.
Yeah.
I see.
His defense is to get punched out real quick.
Yeah, I'll get knocked out.
Just make this fast.
So this could either be a fight or it could turn into piggyback porn.
Yeah, no thank you.
Or they'd be like, "Get away from me, freak," and then just like run away. So it's a win-win. I'm not gonna fight anymore. I'm too pretty.
Sounds like a win-win. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, listen, if you ever get to the point where you want to get armed, look for the pink pistols.
I'm down for this. Is there a division in Cleveland?
Don't know.
I'd be down for that.
Do not know.
Go get me a Glock. And
A Glock.
Yeah, I'll be ready. I have no problems with guns. I just think there should be restrictions. That's all.
Alan, if Pound Cake wants to learn how to shoot, I know a few great instructors. Well, I think we
know how to
probably
shoot
all
now.
know instructors. Yeah, Pound Cake. I mean, he's out there.
He was shooting.
We
He's
were
out there
all
with the AK.
we all took lessons a couple years ago from our friends.
That's live audio of Pound Cake shooting guns.
There is one in Cleveland.
Pink pistols?
61 likes on
All right.
Facebook.
There you go. All right, on the way back, I'm going to have a couple of tickets for you for the 4th annual Brew and Barbecue going on at Cedar Point through the month of June. So get you out to Sandusky, get yourself some craft brews, some barbecue. Bill's going to be there a week from today if you run into him. And if you want to text in the break, 35192, live stream at the website, alancockshow.com.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7.
All right, we're back. Keeping with our theme
Looks
of
like I got boobs in this shirt. Nipplies, believe it or not. Like, look, you can see.
Yeah, you're out there.
Look, you can see my rib cage. Hashtag skinny.
So going to with like kind of just the method of your life. Like, what are the certain things that you do in a certain order? Any like your OCDs. So toothbrush, toothpaste.
Oh yeah.
What's your process for that? Because are you wet the brush first? Are you
Gotta wet the brush. I actually wet it twice. I wet the brush, and then when the toothpaste is on, I wet the toothpaste too.
Okay. To activate the toothpasties.
Yeah,
I'm with you on that.
I feel like people who do that, and I would never. I hate people who do this. Brush their teeth in the shower. Gross.
Listen.
Gross.
I'm not saying it's the reason that Coco and I broke up, but it was something that she was a strong believer in, and I do not subscribe to that. It is not a place to brush your teeth. It's not. She's like, oh, it saves time. I'm like, how? It doesn't.
No, it's just messy. Like you're you're in the shower. Like, okay, well, you want to take a crap in the shower too, since you're gonna get clean.
And if you do, and you know it's gonna stay consistent, you can poop into your hand and toss it into the toilet rather than waffle stomping it down the drain.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah.
I've never done that, no. But no, I don't do that. But I am kind of OCD when I leave the house in the morning just because I have a million things to grab and like my day is long, so I want to make sure I have my materials for the rest of the day. So I literally do a pat, pat, pat. Like wallet, keys, phone. Like I never leave the house, wallet, keys, phone. I know what pocket they go in. They go in the exact same pocket every single time.
This is how, I'm the same way. And like that's one of those things, because my kids are always losing their stuff because they don't have that OCD yet. Especially, like my daughter's 17 and she's got her learner's permit and stuff like that, and she's always trying to.
How old to be 17?
She's losing it all the time. I'm like, put it in the same place every time.
She don't have a clutch or a bag or something she can put it in?
She has
She's
a
girl.
wallet. She has a wallet and she has all that stuff, but she's using it for different things. I'm like, she just like, she'll put it in her coat pocket and then she finds it and goes,
she'll learn when she gets her first ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
There, get her first ticket.
That's one. Yeah, I'm with you at the keys, wallet, like phone. Even just right now, I touch my pocket where my phone goes. I'm like, where's my phone? Oh yeah, I'm using it to film this. That's how OCD I am with that stuff. And then as far as brushing the teeth, I'm the same as you. Like I wet the toothbrush, put the toothpaste on, wet it again, and then like I've only recently been the guy that turns off the faucet while I'm brushing my teeth, because I always used to be the person that would like let it run and run and run. And I remember
there's no point in that.
No, it's just a waste. But it was one of those things that I did like when I was a kid. You just let it run and run and run. Let's see what else. Locking my car, I always double lock.
I told you that yesterday. I double lock every time. Even if I know I locked it, it's just a good habit to keep, because then I'll do it when I don't realize it. I'm just like, I know I did it.
Yeah.
And then.
And do you ever get nervous though? Like, cause like I'll do it while I'm walking away, and then maybe someone's like walking by your car, and then you do that, and they're like.
Which, like even at the gas station, I do it. I'm literally gonna be 10 feet. I can see my car from the window of the gas station if I have to go in, and I'm just like, and the guy turns around and looks. I'm like, I don't trust none of y'all. Like,
I'm right there with you. I'm just as paranoid.
And as usual, I keep my toiletries in my room, because I've always lived.
That's weird.
I lived with a roommate since I was 18 years old, and I'm now 25. I've never lived by myself, so it's not even like I think they're gonna like mess with it or something like that. It's just I want my shit with my own shit. Like I just don't want it to be in there for other people's pubes or fecal matter to get stuck on it.
Yeah.
Like I don't. And plus, if I have something really embarrassing, like if I got my my nut rag or something in there, like it's in my room. Like I'm not gonna have it hanging dry.
Well, you don't.
Well, my roommates have their fleshlight just hanging, dangling in there. Like, I'm trying to take a poop and it's behind my head on the towel rack. They don't care.
I feel like I need to brush my brain of this conversation. Do you use, like, a rag? Like, you just use tissue that you can get rid of?
No, because it sticks. You can't use tissue. It breaks apart. I have an actual, like, towel. Like, you know how, like, if you go on a cruise or, like, you go to...
I know what a towel is.
No. I'm just going to paint this picture for you because I'm disgusting and I want you to know.
Can you paint it for them so I can leave?
Well, if you go on a cruise or on a resort, you know how, like, when they come back, you come back to the room and the maid makes the little towel creature?
Yeah.
That's what my towel looks like at the end of the day. It can stand on its own. It's just standing in the corner looking at me like, so are you going to throw me in the wash or what?
I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. I apologize.
We were talking before about how difficult it is to get jobs, or difficult for employers to find people. And I got a bunch, when we went to break, I got a ton of texts from people who were like, you would not believe how hard it is to find people. So it's not a matter of there not being jobs. Lots of jobs, real hard to find people. Even
that are qualified.
Well, not even qualified. That's the thing. Not even qualified. Obviously, if there's certain jobs for which you have to have a certain level of education or experience or whatever, but I'm talking about people who are like, I run a landscaping company and I can't find people because they have drug charges or assault or, you know what I mean?
They don't show up to work.
Or they're Donnie. Donnie, how many times has Donnie, that calls in, our former intern, said he got a new job and he's working landscaping, and then he's flipping his truck.
Something. Listen, it's not hard to, all things being equal, mind you, it's not hard to keep a job. But some people are saying it's hard to find people to take those jobs. Keeping that in mind.
That's what my dad struggles with. He's got more work than he can handle right now, and it's hard to get people that want to go and do that physical labor.
But he doesn't want to get Mexicans to do it, does he?
No, because he doesn't want... He
You don't need the government breathing down your back.
Yeah,
or,
he just follows the laws. That's why he doesn't.
I didn't say illegal. See, there you go, being racist.
Well, what
you
did
just
mean?
said Mexicans. That implies people who work for cheap, which makes them illegals.
Yes,
that's on you, not on
you.
me.
Said Americans. That's different.
You didn't say legal Mexicans. You said Mexicans.
I just said Mexicans.
Well,
right.
Legal Mexicans
what did
aren't
you
going
mean?
to be any cheaper.
I said Mexicans, it's their culture. They seem to be very hardworking individuals.
He would hire them if he could. If they're legal, he'd give them. But there's not a lot of legal Mexicans up here looking for work.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
He was just trying to be a douche.
I know he is. He's trying to be controversial. He's still working at it. You were implying illegal Mexicans because they'd work for cheap.
No.
No, I wasn't.
That pays, though.
A woman in Denver was supposed to get drug tested for a job, and she went to microwave her pee sample because it was from someone else. Ooh. She went to microwave it in a 7-Eleven microwave. It got too hot and exploded. And she got in trouble for ruining the microwave. Obviously, she's not going to get it. Listen, if you are to the point where you're using someone else's pee, you're probably not going to get that job. You've probably missed a couple of
here's
ambition off-ramps in your life.
It's one thing to use someone else's pee. If you don't have your own microwave to warm it up, that's probably...
She's trying to get the job to buy the microwave.
But you get compression pants, and you get a little slot in there, and you keep it close to
you get the sriracha pants we were talking about
right,
yesterday.
Right, the yoga pants or the crotchless yoga pants.
You keep the sack close to your private area, and it stays warm. It gets your body heat.
What?
I'm not saying I know for a fact.
I bet. You sound like you knew what you were talking about. I was going to take you at your word. I bet this woman didn't even do an iota of research as to how long you would microwave pee to imitate body temperature.
Right. I think if you're going to microwave pee, you want to do it in bursts. You don't want to do it all at once.
Right. You don't put it in for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and just wait for it to boil.
Stupid. So stupid.
And then you're going to evaporate a bunch of your pee anyway because it's going to be too hot. See, people, this is why she doesn't have a job in the first place.
That's right. Here's a nurse explaining why this is all a bad idea.
I think it's a little dicey putting urine in the microwave for a number of reasons. The first being, obviously, why are you putting the urine in the microwave? One plausible explanation would be that maybe they have a urine test that is coming up. I think it's probably important for folks to know that it's actually pretty easy to pick up a urine drug screen that has been changed.
I know that my piss is stronger than yours.
Mm-hmm. Listen, as the only one of us who has consumed urine, okay? I had to drink a shot of my own pee.
On the show.
I'm sorry. Whatever Bill does in the privacy of his own home.
Hey, I'm not talking about me.
Pound cake?
I've lived.
Have you drank pee?
I'm not drinking it, no. I've never consumed
all right. Dranking it? Did you say dranking it?
Drank
I've never
it.
dranking it. This is a guy with a minor English, by the way, from the University of Akron. I bet that they...
Wait, what? What was that word?
I bet every time he mentions that he went to the University of Akron, the people who run that score are like, please stop saying that.
You're actually wrong.
Please.
Do you... Because you were talking
How do
to
you
someone...
Call 1-800-ELK Ohio. Still dealing with a crash 271 southbound past Chagrin. You've got stop and go past that starting at Harvard down towards Rockside Road, 480 westbound at Slow Warrensville to Lee, and then stop and go west 130th over to I-71. I'm Faith in the traffic center.
This report is brought to you by Rockwell Sonocrafter.
This Father's Day, Rockwell Tools makes it easy to find the perfect gift for Dad. The Sonocrafter multi-tool is the world's most versatile tool and a must-have for Dad. Its Duotech oscillation technology gives Dad the power to slice through virtually anything. Visit sonocrafter.com or your local Lowe's to learn more.
Yo, what up, Alexa?
What up, bro?
Play WMMS on iHeartRadio.
I got you, fam.
It's time to give stuff away. It's time to give that stuff away. It's time to give stuff away. Give stuff away.
All right, Cedar Point doing their 4th annual Brew and Barbecue Festival goes through July 1st out at Cedar Point. Mouth-watering barbecue, sample craft brews, going to be live music, lots more. Bill Squire's going to be out there next Friday. It's a perfect way to kick off your summer with Brew and Barbecue. All the info, cedarpoint.com. A couple of tickets here for you. If you're caller 16, good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800
348-1007. He's been posting pics of his junk online. You know. Looky. Just some odds and ends that have been piling up in the basement. It's the Alan Cox Show.
Thought I saw your big white ass lumbering around.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Live stream if you want to watch at alancockshow.com. There's a chat. How's the chat room today? Everybody having fun?
Oh, yeah. Lots of people weighing in on Pound Cake's fighting technique and how he would do in a fight. And
Well, he's described it pretty exhaustively, I think. He'll do anything. He'll scratch, he'll bite, he'll kick you in the nuts. I envision him with the windmill arms if it comes to that.
Oh, yeah.
He'll do whatever he's got to do because a win is a win, right?
But
Why would you take the chance of losing a fight?
Well, that was the old me. The old me would do all that stuff. But since I haven't been in a fight recently, I'm probably a little rusty. So I'm grabbing balls.
Right, but it's not like you have to train to scratch and bite and kick people in the nuts.
Yeah, you wouldn't be rusty on those things.
Right, that's what people
I forgot
do
how
when
to bite someone.
Well, I haven't yoked up a bitch in over a year. So, I mean, I don't know.
You
if
haven't what?
Yoked, like, it's a slang term for grabbing, snatching somebody up.
Yoked them?
Yeah, snatching some edges, if you would. So.
Grabbing their weave out their head?
Yeah.
Okay.
But-
in over a year. So within the last year and a half, you've been in a tussle.
I've definitely yoked somebody up. Not a tussle, but it was just like a friend being drunk, and I grabbed him like, look, you need to get it together right now because I don't hang out with sloppies. And he was just like, whoa, man, I've never seen you this angry.
You don't hang out with sloppies, except yourself.
I'm not sloppy. You've never seen me sloppy.
You barfed in our old boss's apartment.
I still wasn't sloppy. I came out smiling. I could stand on my own 2 feet.
That is the epitome of sloppy.
That's not sloppy.
Sloppy does not mean that you pass out on the floor. Sloppy means, you're
You
vomiting
can't
in
handle your
someone's
alcohol.
bath.
I'm talking about, it was in the
Sloppy
club.
doesn't start at blackout drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about like in the club, leaning over a trash can, getting ready to
Okay,
throw
I
up.
have another one.
Not your birthday party. Don't even
My
bring that
birthday
up.
party.
I
You were
wasn't throwing up.
glazed over.
I
You were
wasn't
a
throwing up.
glazed donut.
And guess what? I called my own Uber and got out of there because I knew when I was
Wait,
messed
so
up.
to you being sloppy means that you have to vomit in the club?
It's taking
To
care
me, being sloppy is
taking care of yourself. If you can take care of yourself, you're not sloppy.
Well, to me, being sloppy
Okay.
is you do something embarrassing in public.
No, that's all of us though. That's any given night. That's if I get drunk, I stub my toe on the side of like a bar or something like that. I'm like, ow. Like so.
I think barfing is sloppy.
No.
It is sloppy.
Yeah, I would say it's sloppy.
I don't think that's sloppy.
Because otherwise, the night that I was puking in the limo and slept on the tree lawn,
that was fine.
I wouldn't be considered sloppy because I took care of myself.
Right. No, vomiting is literally sloppy, Patrick.
Yeah, it's literally what that means.
But sometimes literally you could barf and then you could be like, wow, I feel great. Like you're really
Well,
ready
right.
for
That's why some
a
people
re-up.
go in and stick their finger down their throat because they got to just break the seal. They got to get that taken care of. And then, you come out and you're like, I feel great.
Mhm.
But it doesn't mean you're not sloppy.
And also, the sloppy part is the fact that you were barfing in our boss's bathroom.
Yeah, that's not
The
an
first
ideal
time
situation.
you were hanging out in
yeah.
a social situation with him.
Exactly. I was never even inside his apartment. I never
Yeah.
even saw where he lived.
I decorated it well.
I've never been to any of our bosses'
Well,
homes.
someone
I've only
should-
been to
well-
Alan's home when he wasn't there.
And held his baby.
Right. Alan, I got off work today and I'm able to watch the live stream for the first time. It's on my television. Please wink at the camera with your beady eye so I know you read this.
Or you just read it.
Well, now you don't need me
Yeah.
to, do you?
Well, throw him a wink.
It is interesting to me, the people who will tweet photos or send us pictures of them watching the live stream on their television.
I like
Yeah.
that.
I like it too,
It's
but
slightly alarming.
it would never occur to
No.
me to do that if I were at home and watching it,
Yeah, but if you have like a Roku or a smart TV, the YouTube app is
It's
readily
reliable.
Bro,
available.
it's the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah.
When I was over,
Are you saying it's the worst?
I'm just
Are
gonna.
we're trying to promote this, and you're saying it's the worst?
I'm gonna give you an example of just when it was the worst for me. When this was our YouTube video. It wasn't even like live streaming yet. It was the poop challenge when I had to poop for my punishment. My roommates wanted to see that because they didn't believe it, and
in glorious 4K.
they pulled it up on like our big screen. So at the party that we were having, everyone in there just saw me break out into hive. So it was fantastic. I guess if you want to see me, being embarrassed, but.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it worked out pretty well for everyone except you.
I guess that was the whole point. I just didn't imagine it.
That's
in
why
full
it's a
screen.
punishment.
It was.
It was not a reward.
But it was in full screen. HD.
High def, yeah, that's what you want.
You're
There's
welcome.
also me trying to eat a soggy hot dog bun in high def too. So
Yeah. Boy, you want to talk about fights. Props to this lady, this grandmother, who choked a bobcat to death.
What?
Yoked him up.
Yoked this feline up.
He didn't want those hands.
Yeah.
Her hand was still fresh. So
Dee Dee Phillips walked out into her front yard in Hart County, Georgia, around dinner time, and she was going to take a picture of a new bumper sticker on her truck.
Wonder what that said.
I don't know. But her plans changed when she saw a bobcat. So she took a picture of the bobcat. It took 2 steps, and it was on top of me. Before I knew it, came from my face. And she didn't call for help because her 5-year-old granddaughter was in the house. I thought, not today. She grabbed the animal by the throat and choked it until it went limp.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
That's amazing.
Did she kill it or it just passed out?
Well, then she yelled for help. Talk about Johnny come lately. She yells for help and her son comes out. The animal's passed out. Her son stabs the cat several times. But it's likely that it was already dead.
Mom, I got this. I got this.
But she got scratches on her from this animal. I mean, this thing,
Bobcats are no joke.
Well,
how big are they?
They're not small.
The size of a raccoon?
Bigger than that.
What? No.
I don't know how
They're
big a
big.
I've never seen a bobcat.
A bobcat's like the size of a big dog,
Yeah.
probably like a coyote
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
like
you
the
know,
size of a dog.
Yeah, not like a big dog, but like a dog.
Medium
yeah.
dog.
Yeah. Bobcats are pretty. That's a pretty intense thing to do.
With big teeth too.
Yeah.
She knew something about bobcats because her father-in-law was once a bobcat trapper. Talk about seemingly arcane information that came in handy at the best possible time. She said they go for your jugular because they can get that vein and you're dead in a couple of minutes.
They go for jugglers too. They don't like them.
They do not.
That's all
They
the
don't like
hand
people
movement.
defying
yeah.
gravity.
Yeah.
Yep. Which seems counterintuitive because then, if you go after a juggler, they can beat you with one of those bowling pins. You don't want to do that. They actually do tell you what the bumper sticker said.
Oh,
what did the
nice.
bumper sticker say? Women who behave rarely make history.
Is that what the bumper sticker said that she was taking a picture
That's
of?
what the bumper sticker said.
Well then.
There you go. She did not behave. Now, this is Georgia, so she could be a 29-year-old grandmother for all I know.
Yeah.
But, or Ohio, for that matter. But yeah, imagine that. So there's a bobcat that is being killed, and it's on you, and it's fighting, right? This is a feral animal, and you are choking the thing, which you're not going to kill it right away.
Yeah.
It's fighting.
Yeah.
Man, that's an amazing story.
That's crazy.
I guess, the adrenaline kicks in at that point,
Yeah,
And
it's fight or flight.
your-
She fought.
Your grandchild will never step out of line again. Say,
That's true.
Nana choked a bobcat to death, right? You do know that?
I would think to punch it, but I think choking it's probably the best option.
Yeah, it's
Just
smart.
deprive it of oxygen.
Oh,
and blood to its brain. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
going to pass out faster.
When I was 8 years old, I punched a Dalmatian in the face.
Why?
I was terrified of dogs as a kid. And it was because all of the neighbors had these big dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have a dog, but they just scared me. Because, when you're a kid, they're like, oh, he just wants to play.
Yeah.
But all you know is it just seemed like everybody in my neighborhood had a big dog, okay?
But you're also a kid, so every dog seems bigger than it actually
Seems
was.
big, sure.
Yeah.
The people across the street from us, who were friends, their kids were friends of mine or whatever, but they had these Dalmatians who are not particularly angry dogs. I think they're pretty friendly dogs.
A Dalmatian has to be trained correctly because they're just a hyper dog.
Okay.
My friend,
Well,
they got a Dalmatian, and they didn't know anything about dogs, and this dog was a nightmare.
Okay.
But once you get into a home where they know what they're doing, it's fine. It's like most dogs are that way. But their Dalmatians are hyperactive dogs.
Okay, well, as a kid then, to my point of a hyper dog that just wants to play probably,
Mm-hmm.
So I've never known anybody since with a Dalmatian, so my only exposure to them were these neighbors. But they never kept them on leashes or anything. So
They just let them run around the
It's
neighborhood?
come bounding over.
they came bounding over.
Yeah.
They normally didn't run around the neighborhood, but I was in the front yard one day. It was in the summertime. I remember it vividly. And I turned around because I heard my friend yell. I turned around. The dog had gotten out of the kitchen. It is coming at me full speed.
Mm-hmm.
And I just turned and I punched this dog square in the jaw.
Oh my God.
Because it was like a reflex. chipped his tooth or something,
You animal abuser. Dick Goddard would be very disappointed in you.
Dick Goddard can kiss my ass, all right?
Dick Goddard can't even hear this
He wasn't
broadcast.
around when I was 8 years old.
Oh, yes, he was.
He's
He
been
wasn't around
forever.
me when I was he wasn't standing there next to me
I think
when
he's
I was
immortal.
8 years old.
Dick
So,
Goddard, he's always existed.
In some form.
As long as there's been woolly bears, there's been Dick Goddard.
So the parents like they didn't freak out or anything because
Well, yeah, if your dog gets out and somebody does something to try to defend themselves, you can't get mad at the person.
Well, plenty of people do though because they had to get this dog's tooth fixed or something. I'm like, but I'm like, well, I thought your dog he just wants to play. I go, well, my fist wanted to play too, and I wanted to play with your dog's face.
I tell you what, that is the scariest feeling when you have a neighborhood dog that just constantly gets out. So everyone has that neighbor that has.
I'm not scared of dogs, so it's not scary to me.
But I'm just saying, everyone has that neighbor's dog where it's just like a menace. It just gets out and messes with all the other dogs, or like it gets out and.
I had a friend that had German Shepherds that were
can never keep them
notorious for just getting out and getting into trouble, and they bit me one time, and I was just like, they're like, oh, they're nice. I'm like, well, they keep biting me, so I wouldn't say they're nice.
It's the scariest thing. Like, I was getting off the bus one day, and this particular dog just happened to get out, and I didn't see it. You feel like
what kind of dog?
Someone's watching. I think it was a Rottweiler. It was like it was a big dog, and I was young at the time, maybe like 10 or 11, and I'm getting off the bus, and I hear footsteps behind me. And I'm just like, what the hell? I turn around, big black dog just comes like.
It got to be black.
Mm-hmm.
It was just
racist.
Big black dog.
So racist.
Thing is, it was just so calm. It wasn't running. It didn't do anything. But it was just scary because it was like a shadowy figure behind me, and it was just standing there. I'm like, do I run? So I was like,
no, you do not run away from a dog.
I'm 11 years old. Like, what do you want me to do?
So I'm saying that's your reflex.
Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna tiptoe to my.
Well, not
front
yours.
door.
Yours is to punch it in the face.
Well, I'll tell you what. I only did that because when I turned around, it was so close to me that I would not have been able to run and get away from it. Yeah.
There's a lot of breeds of dog out there. We had yellow lab growing up, and she, they just run into you. They like run at you. They're not trying to knock you down, but that's like their way of playing, and they can't stop themselves. So my dog would literally, it was like a game of push down. She would literally run into me and I would fall.
Yeah, it's not like I had amazing timing where I clocked this dog in the jaw. Like I turned around and it was there, and I flung my hand, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But when my own kids get out of line, I will tell them, I've punched a Dalmatian in the face.
Yeah.
So you better be careful.
Do what I say.
I'll paint you white and black and just punch you right in the face as well.
That's right.
Make a coat out of your hide.
That's
Cruella
right.
de Vil style.
Yeah. After me, that movie was going to be called 100 Dalmatians. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Alan.
How are you?
Good.
What you got
How's
for me?
your Friday doing?
Oh, just looking for some Bobcat facts.
All right. So, some fun facts about bobcats.
Ooh, Bobcat facts. Yes?
For one, they are native to Ohio. They do roam from time to time, not typically up here, more central to southern, but they do roam. I know this because my grandfather...
Wait, what do you mean
tracked
Bobcats are native to Ohio?
Bobcats are native
They live
to
here.
Ohio.
There are some, is what he means.
No, I know, but okay.
Well, that's probably why there's a university called the Bobcats.
Yeah.
I know that they live here, but does it... Okay. I thought by native you meant like they sprang from the Ohio... Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I see my error. Anyway,
That's all right.
So, bobcats are typically also nocturnal. They don't typically scream unless they're in pain. They don't make too much noise. But a bobcat scream sounds like a blood-curdling woman's scream. That's how you know it's a bobcat.
Well, we played those two lynx, who I assume are in the cat-bobcat family. You know, we played those two lynx that were screaming at each other, and it just sounded like two people.
Yeah, it's really unsettling.
It is. It's not a pleasant feeling. And as for size, they're roughly the size of about a 45 to 60-pound dog.
Yeah.
Depending on fluff.
Depending on fluff.
Well, how much does fluff weigh?
Yeah.
I don't think the fluff's
so
going
much
to add
fluff.
that
Not
much.
enough.
Yeah.
So if you're lucky, you get a recently shaved down bobcat jumping on top of you.
Let me know if you ever get close enough to shave a bobcat, please.
I'll tell you what. If I get close enough to shave a bobcat, I'm telling everybody. Not just you, Nick. I'm telling everybody. Thank you, buddy, for all the information there.
This is so freaking cool. It's so cool. Who runs into this?
I love the narrating.
Yeah.
This is cool.
This is so cool.
I like this cool moment.
I'd be laughing.
By the way, I read a thing that said more and more mammals are going nocturnal to avoid people. That they're seeing a trend over every continent that mammals are spending more time roaming at night.
That even goes for people.
Huh?
I mean, if we get back into the Fortnite discussion, there's plenty of people that are
avoiding people
yeah,
as
avoiding
well.
people and going nocturnal. I mean, there's that's happened.
Mammals are trying to avoid super predators, which are people to them. So coyotes and bears in Alaska and leopards in certain parts of the world, they're hanging out more at night. I mean, we did pave over all their natural habitats, but they're trying to stay away from us.
As they should.
Get out of my way, leopard. What are you, deaf? All right. Hey, Steven.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
What's going on?
So I was overhearing your conversation about being afraid of dogs and everything. And me personally, I'm a dog guy. I love dogs. But there's one day, like, my family, we all make our own, like, Hungary sausage and, like, summer sausage. And we do all that mixed meat, put it in casing and everything. Well, I had all the meat hanging up in my garage to cure. And I stepped outside real quick. I was like, hey, everyone, we'll take a break for a minute. Everyone get something to drink. I'm going to step outside. Well, I stepped outside, and one of my neighbor's pit bulls with a head about the size of a 20-gallon water jug was sitting in my backyard. And I'm guessing he could smell all the sausage that we were making in the garage and everything. And I was just like, hey, excuse me, dog. You need to leave. And, like, he kept, like, coming closer and closer, and I'm just kind of looking at him.
Yeah, because he
like,
doesn't speak English.
Yeah. Like, if you get any closer, I'm going to stab you in the face with this pitchfork I got right here. And it just, like, kept progressing closer. And as soon as I went to go swing that pitchfork at it, it just, like, grabbed it, yanked it out of my hand, and proceeded towards me. And about that time, my cousin Sean, he's, like, 6'10", 350. He comes out and he just grabs that dog right by the back of the neck and just, like, whips it across the yard. And I'm just like, okay, that works, too. And it just turned around, looked at us, and was like, screw that, and just took off. But
dog got a pitchfork away from you. Man, that's no bueno.
We will sample those sausages, though, if you want to send some
Yeah,
our way.
send us some sausages, Steven. Thank you. Some sausages.
We'll have a real sausage party for once.
Sausage king of Cleveland.
I've got a break. I'm going to have 18 holes of golf for you in your choice of one of the Cleveland Metro Parks golf courses. You take your pick and get out there with a pal. WMMS.com, by the way, in the contest tab, we're giving away one all-access pass to the Cleveland Metro Parks. That's admission for 2 to golf in all 8 of the Metro Parks courses. If you want to text in here, 35192, and we'll be back after these.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS and everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
It's Free Movie Friday, and
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Siding in the DMs. I'm Bill Squire.
And I'm Pound Cake.
Let me get that a little bit. There we go. Yeah, so we're doing some stuff and just talking about something, and Pound Cake thinks that a lot of people put milk in before the cereal.
Some people do.
I know some people do, but
I
think there's like 2 people in the entire world.
No, I think it's 50-50.
You think it's 50-50?
50-50. People put in milk. They're like, oh, I just grabbed the milk first. I'm going to put that in, and then they'll pour the cereal on top of the milk.
But how do you know how much cereal you need? Like, I know this isn't the way you do it, but like that's a crazy way to do it. If you're trying to eat cereal, you put the cereal in the bowl. Now, and then you put the milk. But if you eat the cereal, then you have some leftover milk, then you can add cereal to that leftover milk. But I've never heard of anybody putting milk in and then be like, all right, now I'll figure out how much cereal
on top of it. Yeah.
You know some really disgusting people, because that is a horrible thing to do.
You're absolutely right. It was my white friends.
Yeah, don't put that on. No.
I went over to their house, and
I don't have any white friends like that.
And on top of that, on top of pouring the milk in before the cereal, They had, I don't know anybody who still has a quarter jug of milk. They had a little quarter one, a little paper thing. I'm like, you ain't get a gallon, like, you're just wasting resources. Like, get a gallon jug, you know you're going to use the milk. Like, why have 4 little quarters of milk?
You're not friends with those people anymore, I hope.
We talk when I come home.
Mm. You got to cut them out of your life. Those are not
wasted
good people.
resources and
those
just...
are not good people. All right, here's another one. Peanut butter and jelly. How do you do, what's your process for that?
Throw it away.
You don't eat peanut butter and jelly?
I don't eat PB&J.
Oh, PB&J is great.
But
All right, what's your version of it?
Here's how I would do it. Maybe unpopular, but whatever. I would put probably the jelly on first because that's the thickest. And then I would put the peanut butter on and just kind of like smear it. So the jelly and the peanut butter blend together. I wouldn't put it on a separate piece of bread. You just put the other bread on top.
No. You have to put peanut butter on one piece of bread with a separate knife. Or clean the knife in between.
Why?
Because if you're moving...
No, you put it together and then you stick the knife in between so you clean off the knife. So like you put the 2 pieces of bread together and then you pull the knife out.
You don't eat peanut butter and jelly, so you can't...
I have that.
Yes. So you do
one
slice of bread with peanut butter, one slice of bread with jelly, and then you use a paper towel to clean the knife in between so you're not taking peanut butter and moving it into the jelly jar or vice versa.
See, I'm the worst person for that because when I have toast,
so not only do you bring other contaminants, you're bringing crumbs with you too.
My mom used to yell at us. I would have toast and I don't like as much butter as it is. Like I don't like that much. But I would just smear it, and I'm like, oh, that's not enough. It just barely scratches the surface. So I stick it back in, so all the crumbs from my toast just go in there.
Oh, you are a disgusting human being.
And I'm the one that doesn't
like
my
mom
food to
should
touch.
charge you rent, just like even though you don't live there, she should charge you rent just for like back pay, like damages for doing something like that.
Yeah, so it was always like polluted. Our like bucket, and she would get a huge tub of toast. It was like not of toast. I can't believe it's not butter, the hood kind, but it was a big tub, and it would always be like polluted.
I can't believe not butter isn't a hood thing. That is just it's a margarine. Like that's like more of a weight loss type thing.
What is the difference? So it's just like less stuff?
Well, margarine is more like oil and stuff like that, whereas butter is actual like a dairy product.
Got you.
So when margarine was
I never knew the difference. I can't taste the difference, can you?
Not really. But when margarine was created, it was the people that make butter wanted them to make it pink so people wouldn't use them interchangeably. Because they didn't want people to think that margarine was butter. But, well, a little factoid. Yeah. Oh, another thing that there's this girl on Instagram that was surprised that I knew the difference between a macaron and a macaroon. Do you know the difference?
A macaron is a nut and a macaroon is a cookie?
No. A macaron is like those little, they look like little like hamburger pastries.
Hey, I thought that was a macaroon.
No, that's a macaron.
So what's a macaroon?
A macaroon is the one that's like more doughy looking and almost looks like a biscuit.
Oh, so it's just bigger and it's more biscuity rather than the little macaroon, or just like the little Krabby Patties. Like
exactly. Yeah. So, and I only knew that because when I went to New York a couple of years ago, I called them macaroons, and people were like, "Those are macarons!" And so,
oh my god, I hate people.
Mm-hmm. But she was shocked that I knew that because nobody else knew that, and I was like, "What can I say? I'm fancy. I'm a cultured, fancy
He's
man.
a woke human being."
That's right. All right. Thanks for watching.
Sounds kind of interesting, and it just
it is interesting. I think it is interesting because people are here.
Hey everybody, welcome to Side in the DMs. I'm Bill Squire.
And I'm Pound Cake.
Did you watch the royal wedding at all?
I'm not getting up at 6 a.m. I don't get up at 6 a.m. like for breakfast, so I'm not going to get up at 6 a.m. for a royal wedding.
Did you watch any recap of it or anything?
I watched it. I watched the full stream on YouTube, but that was like afterwards. Like I can.
Oh, so you didn't watch it live, but you ended up going back and watching it.
Yeah, I did. I had a snack and I was just like, you know what? I'll pop it in because it's just so romantic. Like it's just like.
Is it though?
You can do anything. She's one of us. She's from California. Like she used to tour the Buckingham Palace. Like
what's her face did this all that like years ago, right? The Princess Diaries girl.
Miracles happen once. Yeah, I'm just saying. But it's really true. Miracles happen once in a while if you believe. She was take pictures outside of Buckingham Palace. She never thought that one day she would be inside Buckingham Palace with the Queen.
But isn't Buckingham Palace like old and kind of gross?
Why would it be old and gross?
Because it's an old palace.
Isn't the White House built by slaves?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to live there either.
Well, the presidents do.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just the romantic, just the way they romanticize the whole like being a princess thing. Like, yeah, it's I guess, but like that's just not anything that's ever been on my radar. And also, because who'd she get married to? William or Harry?
Harry.
I don't know.
But it's like you don't like princes and all this kingdoms and stuff. It's stuff you only hear on like HBO or fairy tales. So now it's like it's actual princess, actual royalty, an actual bloodline that like links back to like you can trace your bloodline back to the 1800s, and now it's polluted.
I can trace mine back to the 1500s.
I'm just not 1800s, like before that. Like
I know, but
the
like
family used to rule, and now they have.
But
like,
now they don't.
Black,
so it's not like who cares?
I cannot wait for this black baby. It's gonna be a ginger and black.
All
like
right,
I can't wait.
I'll give you that. That's the part that I like.
Thousands of years of pure blood, and now they're like, you got a girl from Crenshaw. From Crenshaw!
So, this is I guess, all right, I hadn't thought about that aspect.
It's
like
big
that.
for us.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
This is the
Wakanda.
All right, is this bigger than Black President? Is Black Princess bigger than Black President?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, because
it's because of how old it goes
because
back.
we've only been around for a few hundred years. America's
Yeah.
only been around for a few hundred years, and
England's been around for much longer.
Yeah, and it's based off of a bloodline. I mean, we are known on racism, and like you wipe out the Indians and you call it land your own, like whatever. So black people weren't even like the first to be. At least black people existed. We weren't wiped out. So.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that. I'm gonna actually agree with you that Black Princess bigger than Black President.
It is because
more unexpected too.
He only had 8 years. This lives on forever. We have descendants now. Now our descendants, royalty from now on. Like it might be the first.
She's gotta get pregnant first because things could happen. She's gotta get pregnant.
She's gotta get pregnant. It's with the royal. Like it's bound to happen. She was born to do this. She was born to be the Black Princess.
That's.
You ever seen Princess and the Frog?
No, I never saw that one. But I mean, good for her. I'm happy for her. I just think like it's funny how worked up people get over it, and not as much the people that like it. It's the people that don't like it and get like wound up. I never understand that when people are like, oh, I hate this. I hate how people are celebrating this thing, and then they go, but they know every aspect of it. I'm like, so do you really hate it, or are you just trying to mask your love of it through hate?
I didn't watch the first one. I didn't watch the first royal wedding, like because neither like Pippa or not Pippa. That's the sister. Kate, she's beautiful, but
yeah,
Harry was or William was not attractive, and like Harry was always the hot.
Your summer adventure in a brand new Honda. Hurry into your local Northern Ohio Honda dealer for great deals across the entire Honda lineup, or visit them online at northernohiohondadealers.com.
It's time to give some stuff away. Now it's time to give some stuff away.
All right, I want to do some golfing in the Cleveland Metro Parks. We just got done with our foot golf tournament in Mastic Woods. Always have a blast. Metro Parks are great. All 8 courses. Now, depending on your skill level, you've probably got your favorite. I'll give you 18 holes of golf right now. You pick the course. If you go to WMMS.com, use the keyword contest, we're giving away an all-access pass to Cleveland Metro Parks Golf. That's admission for 2 to golf each of the 8 Metro Parks golf courses. Right now, I'll give you 18 holes. You pick the course. Good luck. Caller 11, 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
From the Final Touch Construction Studios, this is the 50th anniversary of WMMS Buzzard Radio, an iHeart radio station. Ask Alexa to play WMMS on iHeartRadio.
Now back to the Alan Cox Show.
Stop.
Oh, pound cake. If you want to text 35192 here, Tribe game tonight. They are playing the Twins here at home. It's a 7:10 first pitch here on MMS, so we'll roll a bit early. Your pregame will begin shortly after 6:30. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be in the Flats with Belvedere Vodka and the Belvedere Girls. We're going to have an iHeartRadio VIP lounge. There's a day and night club in the Flats. If you just go toward the sound of the people having fun and the pool and the storage containers, you'll find it. And then we're going to be posted up with at the iHeartRadio VIP lounge with the Belvedere Girls. We're going to have Belvedere specials. And I will be your lovely and talented host. So that'll be 1 to 3 tomorrow. It'll be me and Java Joel from Kiss FM.
Party.
I'm bearing the lead. So, if you see me giving someone piggyback rides in the pool,
Playing chicken in the
that
pool.
that will be Java Joel. That's right. So that's tomorrow from 1 to 3.
And it's a day and night club.
It is a day and night club.
Not a sunset, sunrise club.
It is not.
Nope. You go at those times, out of luck.
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise. So, so that'll be fun. Did you see the video of the Mexican politician who got shot while he was taking a selfie with a constituent?
No.
Oh, man. I don't know. You want to talk about, listen, everybody knows the fakakta nonsense that goes on with the American political system. But guys who run for office or women in Mexico, where you have...
You're taking risks.
Cartel violence, and you have... crooked cops, openly crooked cops, because everyone's kind of at the mercy of these cartels because they have so much money, they have so much influence. Some guy running for office, it's like on security cam, black and white. Guy running for office,
damn.
He's at, so they get the whole thing on video, obviously, surveillance video. He's at an airport or he was leaving a debate. This guy's running for Mexican Congress. And a woman asks for a selfie. And so there's just people walking by, and so he starts to take the selfie. Guy strolls up behind him, pulls a gun from his belt, pops the guy twice in the head. Guy drops, obviously.
Double tap, yeah.
Yep. Woman screams and runs away. But it's wild.
That is freaky.
So I'm curious. I'm curious
nuts,
what this guy was running on. That guy walks up, pulls it out of his waistband, pop. Oh, I guess just one shot.
All over, yeah.
Yep. All done.
I guess you don't stop to take
video.
selfies anymore.
Yeah.
He said it was said that he was on the wrong side of the Zetas crime group when he was the mayor of Piedras Negras. And now he's was running for Mexican Congress.
That actually seems like something that would have been on the show Weeds. Like, remember when they were doing the episodes where they were going back and forth between Mexico?
Oh, for sure.
Like, you could see that on a show like that, or just any of those like cable
Narcos
shows.
or on Netflix.
Just that immediately and abrupt and out of nowhere, like, oh, we're gonna take a selfie together. A big fan of you, and everything you've done for the city, and then done.
Now, is she part of it? Was she part of a distraction technique to get the guy to
take his
That's what
attention
I
down?
wonder too.
Yeah.
But I don't know about that. I don't know.
Or he just saw his opportunity. He just saw the opportunity.
Yeah, it
He's
could
like,
be
yeah, I'll do
that.
it. Because, I mean, even if he wasn't taking a selfie, if you have someone walk up to you like that,
From behind.
you're not going to, I mean, you could be doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
You just be standing there. You could just be walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Alan, another fact about bobcats, they're actually called Robert cats.
I said that.
Did you?
Yeah, I just kind of laid it out there.
Oh, sorry.
Sometimes that's sliding by you guys.
No, the woman didn't choke Bobcat Goldthwait. People are asking.
Why do people whose name is like Robert, why do they call him Bob? Where did that come from?
Don't know.
Do they call him?
My grandfather's name was
rhymes
Robert,
with
and his
Bob.
my grandfather's name was Robert, and his nickname was Jim.
Really?
Yeah,
And
that's
then
weird.
James
Jim
and
Stone. Everybody called him Jim.
And then William and Bill. Where did Bill come from?
Well,
No.
Bill rhymes with Will.
I just got
don't
called.
know.
But
Yeah.
why can't you just be called Will? Why would you change it to a completely
Don't
different
know.
name?
Some
Why
people
is
are
he
named
getting
Henry and they get
so-
called Hank.
Right.
There's just people are weird.
I just never understood that because I had my stepdad's name was James, and then all his friends would call him Jim, and I'm like, "But your name's James." He's like, "Yeah, but they call me Jim. Why?" Oh no, that's just how it was. Like no one has a reason as to why you were called Jim.
A long time ago, I'm just reading here, Bob was rhymed from Rob, and it stuck. What did not stick is for a while, Dob was also a shorter version
Old
of
Dob,
Robert.
yeah.
Dob did not. Like Dobby from the Harry Potter films? Oh, Dobby.
But if you're worrying about shortening it, like in Bill's case, you call him Will. It's the same amount of letters.
Yeah.
If my
don't
name
know.
was William, I would go by Will. I think
It
Will
sounds
is
better.
a cool name.
And but that's the thing.
Nothing
is,
wrong with Bill. I would go
I
by
was
Will.
called Billy by my parents. So I actually in kindergarten I wanted to be more. I was excited.
You wanted to be
about,
Bad Boy Bill?
No. I was excited about like a fresh start. You know, you're
Sure,
getting into
yeah, yeah.
kindergarten.
You can reinvent
so
yourself.
I went by William all through kindergarten, and I wanted to sound like more sophisticated and like
In kindergarten.
in kindergarten. Well, I want to sound like I was smarter than I was.
Kinkies
So I'm like,
up, other
I'll be
kindergartners.
William
Well,
Squire.
Squire is already a very hoity-toity sounding name.
Yeah, William Squire.
William Squire.
Mhm.
Sounds British
And then
and royal.
when I worked at a Domino's for like 3 days, and there was a bill there, and I tried to go by my middle name for like a couple days, and I was just like, that's not gonna work.
What's
The
your
people
middle
like call
name?
me Scott, and I'm like, nah, I don't respond to that.
I try to get people to catch on. My dad calls me Airy. I try to get that to catch on. Didn't happen.
Your dad calls you Airy?
Airy.
Huh.
Yeah, but he spells it like Lake Erie, so it's very weird.
Yeah,
Like he would
that's
make
confusing.
me jerseys, and like on the back it would say Airy.
And everybody's just like, what's up, Erie?
Yeah, I'm like,
You
that's how you
polluted.
spell Airy.
I wonder,
My parents just called me Pissant, but that never took off either.
Did anyone ever call you Al?
I do not like people calling me Al, but
Yeah.
there are a couple people along the way who called me that, and I go, okay,
You can.
I like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. I have two Uncle Allens, and they both go by Al.
Well, Al is normally short if your name is like Alfred or Alphonse. Like if you're an Italian guy and your
Yeah.
name's Alphonse, you go by Al or whatever. But Al is a short for Alan. My friend Sean McDowell, who is a longtime legendary radio host in Pittsburgh at WDVE. He was my competition for many years. But he's a hell of a guy, and he would call me Al. And I go, I like you, Sean. So you know what?
You'll let him.
I'll let it
Al
happen.
is, that's right. And then a couple of, who else calls me Al?
There's a caller
Somebody
that always
somebody
calls you
famous
Al.
calls me Al, and I forget who it is. Somebody I've known for a long time. So I should immediately know who it is. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I wonder who like the name sticks to, because I can't imagine R. Kelly's friends calling him, "Hey Bob, hey, that's my friend Bob Kelly over there." Like,
Bob Kelly, not the comedian.
Well, it's like Sandra Bullock, and people always call her
Sandy.
Sandy. You know, or there's another actor that I can't think of.
Like Bobby De
Or
Niro.
Bobby De Niro, yeah. It's funny to hear people say the nicknames.
Alan, in third grade, I tried to do that Bill method of a fresh start and tried to get people to call me Scooter. Unfortunately, it didn't take until my senior year when I really didn't want it anymore. All right. That's Jeff back in
Did you guys watch
IT.
the
Call him
video
Scooter.
that I posted at AlanCockShow.com of the little girl that was on America's Got Talent?
I saw it, but I didn't watch it.
You should watch it. It's honestly, it's good audio.
What's
Is
her
it worth
talent?
playing?
She's a singer, and she's just it's classic America's Got Talent, where how could this mousy little shy girl be such a great performer? But she is a great performer. Also,
like Susan Boyle.
Yeah, but she's like not just
Voice
singing.
of an angel.
She's like dancing and like she like transforms during her performance. And also thanks to Preacher Lawson, who stopped by East End last night. He won America's Got Talent a couple of years ago, and he's a really funny comic, and he was in town.
Who told him you were doing that room?
Marla DeMarchi, just another comedian in town.
Okay.
She's just like, hey, you want to come out and do a set? And he's like, okay. And he's at the Improv this weekend, so he's in town.
Courtney Hadwin. Is this girl English?
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds English.
How old are you?
13.
13. What's your favourite subject in school?
Music.
What kind of music?
I don't know.
This girl looks like the chick who crawled out of the well in The Ring.
Yeah, she's very like mousy
Is this
little
the Janis
girl.
Joplin sounding one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did see this.
You're very sweet. And I'm guessing you're going to be singing for us?
Yeah.
Listen, don't be nervous. I know this is a big stage. And
Holy crap!
I find that very annoying. I don't know what she's doing with her voice. It's like she's trying to do the Janis
Well, it's that
Joplin
rock thing, yeah.
But the
That
thing is,
soulful rock thing.
I just hate because they pick these people out and it's purpose.
Here comes Poundcake hating on a kid
No,
that sings.
They're just doing. She's just doing a bit. Like she's
Not
probably
judgmental at
Well,
all.
she's trying to perform in front of a theater, a big theater of people.
But be talented. Why do you gotta have? Why do you make?
That
people
is
feel-
talent.
I think this is. Listen, it's.
She can sing, but I'm saying
The
why do you have
show
to
is
have the
telling
gimmick?
me that America has talent, so I'm taking the show at its word.
But the
even
thing
though.
is, she's pretending like she's like doesn't have any friends.
Can
She's very
you do
quiet.
this? Oh, you mean she's pretending to be shy?
Yes, and to just bust out there and
no,
sing.
I
don't
believe
think
her.
So I think there are definitely a lot of kids
No.
out there that are shy, and they have this like passion for music, and they just channel all the things that they wish they could say out loud into the songs.
All you need to do, and I used to call BS on that too, but a long time ago, but all you need to do is meet a couple of people who have stage fright but are still compelled to perform, and they go up and they go crazy. But off stage or somewhere else, like they barely speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're
I think
terrified to
that's-
be up there, but they want to perform. And so
It's the introvert extrovert. That's a real thing where you are very comfortable in certain social situations or performing in front of people, but when you have to go back and forth with someone or interact, or it feels more like a one-on-one situation, you're way more like nervous about it.
And when you're performing, you are kind of channeling something else, whereas
Yeah.
where you're just talking to someone, that's all you, and you might not be happy with it. My
Well,
complaint,
dang.
my complaint is that it doesn't sound like she knows the words to the song.
Yeah,
It's
she's not-
I'm like, all right, well,
I don't know.
that's
It never sounds like anybody knows the words to that song.
She's not enunciating enough.
hard to handle. All right, that's an old song, boy. Okay.
The way
I
she
mean,
was
that's
just-
amazing for a 13-year-old.
It didn't blow me away the way I thought it was going to. I thought she was really going to get in there, but yeah, it's good.
I think
It's pretty good.
when it comes to things like this, watching it like cold, because I just saw that it was on YouTube trending,
Yeah.
and I turned it on, and I'm just like, okay, fine, and then it hit me. But you had like more of a build up because I was trying to sell it to you.
Yeah, maybe.
So you know what's going to come.
There was a girl that was on, I think, America's Got Talent. I think she won a couple years ago. Grace Vanderwall is her name. She was pretty young, maybe around 13, 14, that age. She's not like a powerhouse, but she's very like, I guess, unsuspecting. But she goes out there and plays like ukulele and like she wrote her original songs, and like her songwriting is amazing.
Oh, they put her on the Imagine Dragons tour.
They did?
Yeah.
She's really talented.
There's nothing they love more.
Well, that's one band on that tour that's really
There's
talented.
nothing they love more on America's Got Talent than someone that does that turn where they're very awkward, and then they start performing, and
Yeah.
people are like, "How could you be a great singer?
That's what I'm saying.
You're so."
It's a gimmick. That's why I can't stand that.
But it's television. You got to have some showbiz in there. If they walk out and go, "Hey, everybody, you're never going to believe, but I can sing really well," and then they go right into that, you know, I mean.
They play the little sad music as soon as they step on the stage. They're like, and now welcome Candace Jordan.
But it's the same thing they did with American Idol, where they would take somebody back to their hometown, and you're like, okay, well, they wouldn't have wasted shooting all this B-roll if this person wasn't going to get the ticket to Hollywood. Like,
Except when Jim Tooze was on Last Comic Standing, and they did all that B-roll with him,
And he didn't make it?
and he didn't make it past the first round. Like he had all that stuff. Like
Why'd they do that then?
Because he had a joke about rubbing his comedy career's success in the face of one of his teachers or his guidance counselor.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this is a good one." So the producers just have to go out and shoot a ton of stuff, and they don't know what's going to be used.
Oh, okay.
But then when they show it, you know you're
But
going
they
to
thought
see
this,
that person.
this
Yeah,
backstory was good enough to
Yeah,
show,
it's-
even though he didn't make it.
right. Because then the judges are like, "You're funny," but I think Roseanne was the only one that liked him.
Perfect.
the next act on America's Got Talent were the really good ones, though. The Screaming Lynx. Did you watch this?
Oh, yeah. Golden buzzer on that one.
That's right. They got X'd out by Mel B.
I want somebody to go back. They shoot B-roll for their hometown, and they're like, "This is where I grew up," and they're the house that had the pork stolen. I'm like, "You go through the next round. You're going through."
I
That's
used
a sob
to
story.
sit there and drink lemonade before they stole my pitcher and my swing.
The sob story is going to make you go to at least to Hollywood. You're going to at least go to Hollywood with the stolen pork.
Yeah.
Who is Mel B, by the way? I don't know who.
Spice Girls.
Okay, all right.
Dave
Damn.
Attell calls you Al.
Scary
somebody- yeah.
Spice, duh.
You call him Dave Chappelle. He calls you Al.
Yeah, right. And Richard Lewis I've known for a number of years, too, and so he'll call me Al, and I'll be okay with it.
I love him.
Hey, Stripper Scott.
Hi, guys. How are you?
You cannot call me Al.
Oh, okay. I'll try.
All right.
I was just thinking, I'm kind of the same way. I'm like so vivacious and entertaining on the phone, but in person, I'm just shy and quiet.
No, you're not.
He's joking, Erica.
No.
Ari. Be quiet, Ari. We're going to make that happen.
Now it's coming through.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I can have 3 first names.
I know.
I was just wondering if it's Father's Day weekend, Alan. You have plans? You're going to have a happy Father's Day?
Were you really wondering that, Scott, what my Father's Day plans were?
I mean, it was a setup, but
For
fine.
Shout out for what?
setup, he said.
Oh, a setup. Setup for what?
Are you going to make a joke about girls that don't have dads?
What are your Father's Day plans? You going to be spending time with girls whose fathers ignored them?
That would have probably been a better call. No, I was just saying, it's the anniversary of my dad dying the day before Father's Day. So I was just going to be sad and alone, wishing that my father was still alive.
No, yours was funnier.
Did someone steal your porch?
Yeah. So, also...
Wait, is your dad really dead?
Yeah, he died in 2002.
Before... It's like 16 years ago.
Why are you setting Alan up to tell a horrific story?
How is that a setup for your dad dying the day before Father's Day?
Well, I was going to tell you, and say, "Oh, it's going to be great. Going to see my kids. We're going to have fun." And you're going to say, "Hey, Scott, what about your dad?" And I was going to say, "Well, as you may recall from a couple of years ago when I told you the story, my father died the day before Father's Day."
Everything you just said is absolutely wrong. I would never ask what you were doing. I would never recall that you told me you did. You've filled in the color on that story, but none of it is correct.
Well, I'm happy that you quoted Luke Skywalker for a minute. That was pretty cool. But it got me thinking, though.
Okay, thank you, Scott. I gotta go. I don't know what he's talking. I quoted who? Luke Skywalker?
Apparently.
I don't know. But he said it was a setup, but then he told a sad story about his dad being dead.
His dad's not dead.
A setup is like for a joke.
You don't think his dad's dead?
No, he's probably just hiding.
No, his dad
Oh,
is
I believe
not.
him that his
dad
dad's
is not
dead.
alive. I do
mean,
know that.
Okay.
Because he takes care of his mom.
Stripper Scott Sr. All right.
I know more about him than I feel like I should.
Okay. Let me break here, and we'll come back. We'll wrap everything up, and your Tribe pregame is set for shortly after 6:30, 7:10. First pitch tonight downtown. They'll start the weekend series against the Twins here in MMS.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Did you see the high school valedictorian in Kentucky who trolled the audience there?
Is this the one that
What, did he
stood from
brush his
outside?
teeth? Oh. No.
Oh.
High school valedictorian in Kentucky gave a speech on Sunday, and he gave a quote. Everybody cheered. Well, I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Don't just get involved. Fight for your seat at the table. Better yet, fight for a seat at the head of the table. Donald J. Trump. I'm kidding. That was Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Someone booed.
Within the span of
love
2
it.
seconds, they were clapping. Does that sound like anything Trump would ever say, by the way? If
Yeah.
you were really paying attention, don't fight for your seat. Fight for the head of the table. Fight for your seat at the head of the table, whatever he said. Donald J. Trump, woo! They're like, no, it was Obama actually said that.
Well, that's why they were cheering. They were like, wow, he said something articulate. Yes, cheer.
They don't like that guy because he's articulate. They
But
like
they
him
were-
because he's not.
Yeah, but I think saying something like that, fight for the seat at the head of the table, that sounds kind of Trump-like.
Does it?
Yeah.
Does it?
To say the fight for the most important spot, yeah.
Well, no,
That's
because the
guy
rest
he
of it is like fight for what's right or something
Well,
like
yeah,
that.
but that little bit of it sounds
Let's
Trump-like.
be honest, though. No one was analyzing the quote and going, yeah, that's what Trump said. They didn't even pay attention to the quote. They heard Trump's name and started
clapping.
cheering.
Yeah. And then in half a second later, they're like,
Yeah,
whoops.
exactly.
That's just how white folks will do you.
Very
right.
funny. Very funny that he did that, though.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's funny.
The old switcheroo.
The old switcheroo.
No, I read something that like a valedictorian wasn't allowed to like give their speech, so they grabbed a megaphone and went outside and gave the speech outside of the
Yeah, why
auditorium.
wasn't he allowed to? What was the reasoning behind
Oh
that?
God, I don't remember what it was. It was something stupid, like something he should have been able to give it. I don't remember what I read.
Because he was a gay valedictorian.
Oh, that's
So
what
they
it
were-
was.
he-
Christian school.
He wanted to give like a speech. Yeah, if a kid works hard enough to be at the very top of his class, let him say what he wants to say.
But they get real strict. Graduation time, you get all these articles, the schools not letting people walk, not letting people do their speeches, blah, 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 because it's the last thing the administration can hold over you.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
They've
they're
been
like,
putting the screws to you for 4
Yes.
years. They got to pretend like they have some power over you when
Yes.
you're like 1 foot out the door going to college.
I mean, I remember our high school graduation. There were all kinds of kids. They were going to try to turn them away because they wore spaghetti strap dresses underneath their cap and gown, mind you. Because there was one photo that a class photo that we took without the cap and gown on, and apparently, if you had like tiny straps on, you weren't going to be allowed to graduate. And
That's
people
so
were
stupid.
like, "I'm not going to follow that. Like, why would I do that?"
That's why more and more kids don't go to graduation.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm not going. I don't care. Mail me my diploma.
And it was hot as balls, and it was outside. I'm like,
And it's
let the
4
girls
hours
wear
long
a spaghetti strap. Trust me, 2 more inches of strap on her shoulder is not going to make all that big of a difference.
And those polyester robes.
Yes,
They're not.
And they were ours were black.
Yeah.
I have never heard anyone have a good story about a graduation.
No.
I talk about this all the time. I didn't go to my graduation because I hadn't graduated yet.
Right.
But whenever people talk about their graduation, it's always, it was long, it was boring. The guy that wanted to give the speech either said something or wasn't allowed to say what he wanted, or he said something and people got mad. People were clapping the whole time. It seems like we got to come up with a new way to celebrate people graduating, because that is not getting it done.
Or just know that it's going to be a shrimp show, because you've got kids that have been in school for over a decade. This is for some of them, their final, day of school ever. It's going to get a little crazy. And parents that didn't think their kid could do it are, of course, going to bring the foghorn or whatever. I mean, just understand it's going to be a little rowdy.
That's what they should do, is embrace the rowdiness and make
Yes.
it more of a party and less of this formal event where everyone's acting like, oh, we have to be classy, especially for high school graduations,
Man.
because you're just farting your way through that.
They don't want people Soldier Boy Ewing across the stage, and I can understand that.
Soldier Boy what?
Like they get their diploma and they do
Yeah,
like
a couple
all
of
the
weeks
gang
ago,
signs.
there was some guy that took some heat because this school had a guy posted on stage for when like black students would dance or whatever. He'd grab them and move them over to get their diploma, or people were like, let these guys dance,
I know.
man.
Who cares? Honestly.
Because the graduations are already long enough. Like, we don't need just get your diploma.
But just
do
keep
all the-
reading the names, whether Dipwad is dancing or whatever. Just keep reading the names.
Listen, I would just go by statistics. Okay? There are more white kids graduating high school than black and Hispanic kids, right? That's not a controversial fact. It just is what it is. If you graduate high school and you want to dance across the stage, dance, man.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But just
That's what I'm saying.
Make sure you're going across the stage. Don't just sit there, because they will literally do like the hey.
I know.
We don't need all that.
Like
Do
an
that-
end zone dance.
Yeah, do that in the lobby when you have your diploma in hand. And you can
but
do
you
whatever you want.
do it on the stage. I think it should just be put everybody's diploma up on the stage. And then make it be like, go find it.
free-for-all.
Just go find it. Go find your
Like
diploma.
there's people going up there. When I was up there, there was a couple people before me. They were Snapchatting across the stage. They were going like that. I'm like, okay, keep it moving, bro. Just keep it moving. I don't care.
Or how about this? Why don't they just completely remove actually physically handing you your diploma? Send that in the mail and just have a party.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why do we have to walk up one at a time and say, yes, this person?
Because people are so beholden to traditions
Why
that they
can't
can't
just
think of
post
anything
it up
new.
on a wall?
Yeah.
Here's all the graduates
And all you
this
need,
year.
you don't even need a physical diploma anymore. You just tag them on Instagram and be like, hey, see, there it is.
In college, my friend walked, and that bitch didn't even graduate. Like, she found out weeks later that she got like a D- and she needed a C to pass. So she had to do. She was making a big she did.
Well, you tell her I prefer a girl with D's over C's.
She did her hair flip, and she was like, I'm cute. I got my diploma. I got my degree. And she walked past.
Degree.
She had to
Degree.
She had to do a summer course because she didn't graduate. I'm like,
Yeah.
see, showing off. She
That
just
happens
kept it
too,
modest.
because they don't.
Hey, we got to do a new YouTube thing.
No.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Side in the DMs.
Hi.
One time. That was a joke that you guys weren't here for, but we enjoyed it. How was everybody's weekend? We all had a good time, right?
Oh,
It was great.
I had a hell of a weekend.
What'd you
I
do?
did everything.
Everything.
We were in a comedy festival in Columbus.
Mhm.
Drove back up Friday night for a show up here. I
Yeah,
did a
you were-
10K on Sunday.
You did too much stuff this weekend.
I did way too much stuff this weekend.
She had a show in Columbus on Thursday,
Mhm.
show in Cleveland on Friday,
Came back down for a midnight show in Columbus on Friday night.
then back to Columbus Saturday.
Stayed in Columbus Saturday.
Then back to Cleveland.
10K was at 7 in the morning on Sunday.
Yeah, so-
And then I headlined a show Sunday night.
Yeah.
She's a hustler. She's a hustler, homie.
She does it.
Ask
Yeah.
about her. Ask about her.
She's doing it. So I did the same comedy festival, and I also did Rock on the Range. There was a huge delay. I'm sure we'll get into that on the show, but it was really fun. I got to perform. Got to they split us into two parts, and I got to close the first part before the intermission, which
look at you.
was very fun. And honestly, it was probably my favorite set that I've ever had at Rock on the Range.
That's awesome. Good for you, man.
So that was good.
What'd you do?
Pound cake?
I went to 3 gay clubs in one night. And so it was fantastic. And a scenario happened that only really happens in my dreams, but it actually happened in real life, and I was real shook. So I'm sipping my straw seductively on the dance floor, just kind of grooving to the music, just doing my own thing. And this guy, hottest guy in the room, is across from me a little bit. I'm he looks like a stuck-up snob. I'm not even gonna say anything to him because I like to be approached. I like to be chased.
Mm-hmm.
But he was cute, Abercrombie-looking boy. Total little twink, but still totally doable. And then as he comes over, he looks like he's coming towards me, but I'm nah, he's not coming towards me. No, he's out of my league. But then he comes up to me. He's just "Is this you?" I'm he has my Instagram pulled up. I was well, yes, it is. And he's we swiped on Tinder. I was what? He was yeah, but you never talked to me though. I'm oh, well, silly me. And so we tried to have a somewhat conversation, but the music was going. So he was you want to go somewhere more private? So we go into the less crowded area of Twist, and then afterwards I go home with him.
Oh yeah, you did.
I was oh my god. I was literally,
Hey.
that's a scenario that only really happens in my head. Usually it requires a little bit more leg and pouting, but I didn't have to do that. He came up to me and just said, "Is this your Instagram?"
So
I'm
he was searching you out. Now is this going to be one of those situations where he's how come you didn't tag me in any Instagram pictures?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so. He's a terrible
had that.
texter.
Yeah.
Because we spent pretty much that whole night and pretty much a lot of the next day together. I didn't leave over there till 1:30, and
Nice.
but I text him and he literally replies 6 hours later. He's one of those.
I hate that.
Like,
That makes
li-
me absolutely insane.
Exactly. I'll say something funny and then I'm gonna haha 6 hours later. I'm all right. Well,
not everybody's attached to their phones. So
Our
I think
friend,
that could be good.
the guy that we know, was like that. He'll text me every 6 hours, drive me nuts. When he told me to leave alone.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
sign
good.
that you're not a priority. I'm sorry to say that.
No, that's okay. But
It's the worst.
One night was okay.
Yeah, one night's great.
Poking around in there.
Good for you.
Here's something that's kind of funny. I had a very, very vivid dream about one of our listeners, like a lady listener, and
Wilhelmina.
No, not her. It's someone that you know, and I'll tell you after. But she was upset with her man and like made a move on me, and I'm like, this is out of nowhere. Like it was because they're like a real happy couple, so I was like really bummed out when I woke up, and I'm like,
And it was fake.
Well, if it makes you feel better.
Oh, just a dream.
Who writes this crap?
The Alan Cox Show.
On WMMS.
I don't know what that means, to play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
Okay. Well, no.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
Okay, that's it. Thanks very much for hanging out today. Good to see Kevin Bozeman. He is at Hilarities all this weekend. 2 shows tonight, 2 shows tomorrow, and then Sunday before he gets out of town to enjoy that new drill bit that his kid's got. Who's hosting Weekend Cox?
It's the whole gang, all
Really?
3 of us.
Gang.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, look at that.
My first week in Cox back.
The 3 amigos.
And y'all can't say I'm not dedicated. I'm coming all the way back from Columbus to do this.
Thank you, Pound Cake. I appreciate that. You know, we have the technology to just pre-record it.
No, why would we do that?
Who
does that?
You could do that.
I'm going to come in there with crust in my eyes and do this show like I always do.
As long as that crust is only in your eyes from Pride Weekend. Weekend Cox is Sunday morning. It is 8 to 10 a.m. If you're up bright and early, you can relive 2 hours of the best stuff from this week, condensed for your listening pleasure. What else, William?
July 21st, I'm doing a show called Stand Up Together. It is an evening of comedy honoring Nick Ramsey. It is a fundraiser for Ohio Suicide Prevention Foundation and the Adams Board of Cuyahoga County. You can go to standuptogetherohio.com to get tickets and info. And we're also giving away a Ford Mustang courtesy of Gamley.
And I think I have tickets to give away for that next week, too, on the show. So.
Very cool.
Erica?
If you want, you can follow me on Instagram at Erica Lauren Loves. Erica with a K. Love spelled L-U-V-S.
Pound Cake?
Radio Cody B on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys want to follow all the shenanigans that's going to take place this weekend.
Okay.
Hashtag block pound cake.
Whatever. No, don't block me.
We have by the way, Tuesday, we have a major announcement.
A major programming announcement?
A major programming announcement. A major announcement to make. Major announcement to make here on the show on Tuesday. So be here for that. Monday on the show, John Michael Higgins will join us, from the Christopher Guest movies and from a bunch of great stuff. But he's got a new show he's going to talk about. Gavin Rossdale on the show on Tuesday. Bush is coming in for that Incarceration Festival. So we'll talk to him. And tomorrow, I'm going to be in the Flats with Belvedere Vodka. Me and the Belvedere girls are going to be hanging out the iHeartRadio VIP Lounge at Cleveland's hottest day and nightclub in the Flats. You'll find us. I'll be out there tomorrow from 1 to 3. So come hang out. We'll have some pops and some laughs. And that's it. And today's show available on demand at AlanCoxShow.com or on the iHeartRadio app. Available anytime there, and the live stream archived at AlanCoxShow.com as well. And your tribe game is next. Thanks very much for hanging out. Have a great weekend. Do something dangerous, and we will see you in hell.
The